You got it locked on Roadium Radio.
Hey Tony, drop that. What, please? I bet. Dr. Dre in the place to be. Co-rockin' shit with my homeboy Steve. After Roadium, get stupid, yo. Don't think that you can get none of Dre. The motherfucking doctor, the bitch hopper, the sucker motherfucking stopper. I'm fucked up, so don't mind what I'm saying. I'm just kicking it with Steve, Tony, A.A, Susan. Yo, we be choosing dope shit to put in a mix. Know what I'm saying? We kick shit like and that's a fact. And if your shit ain't in the mix, you know it's whack. And that ain't no bullshit. I'm kicking facts on a serious tip. Word up, Dr. Dre's in full effect doing serious damage, boy.
Tony A! Tony A! When you're ready, go.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 168, and I am your host, Tony A, the Wizard. And once again, for those of you that are still asking, because I get asked this pretty much every day, do you still accept music, or how can I get on your show? Well, I'm going to tell you, if anybody wants to request someone, go to roadiumradio@gmail.com and request them there. Let's just say you got a homie, and maybe he doesn't want to request his music, but you do. Send me his music if he has videos and a short bio. Or if you're a rapper and you're trying to get on, I'm asking you to please have patience after you email us your info, music, videos, and a bio. I know some people have told me, well, why do I have to do all of that? You already know who I am. Because I don't check all the emails. I have a team that checks them. And they may not know who you are. So it's important for you to leave somewhat of a short bio of when you started, what you're doing, what can people expect, etc. It only makes the interview a little bit more interesting if you cooperate and pretty much, meet our requirements. Music, videos, if you have any. If you don't, that's fine. And a short bio. roadiumradio@gmail.com. And we try to stay booked a month and a half ahead of time, sometimes 2. So even if I were to book you today, it'll probably be about a month and a half to 2 months before you actually come on, because we only do shows Wednesdays and Sundays. So, and Freaky Tales, we will be back this Friday with a special guest, and we will be taking calls. Freaky Tales on Friday. Make sure you guys subscribe to Freaky Tales Podcast on YouTube, or you can follow us at Freaky Tales Podcast on our Instagram page, where we post who our up-and-coming guests are and whatever. This Saturday, I'm going to be on my friend's podcast, Rick Creeper. He has a podcast. I'll give you a little bit more info because it's going to be pre-recorded, and I'm not sure on what day he's going to be releasing it on. So make sure you guys subscribe and follow Rick Creeper once I release the info on when that podcast will be released. I love doing horror podcasts. I just love doing podcasts. I love talking. Sometimes I don't shut up, like right now. So, but other than that, for merch, somebody asked me, do you still have downloads? Yes, digital downloads on my mixtapes. We're working on getting some other ones up there. But when your team is small, give us a little bit of time. But go to DOCUMIXERY.com, and then you could get your shirts, your tank tops, your beanies, your hats, whatever. So other than that, my first special guest, I want to say that when I came across this page, I was very, very impressed. Not too many people impressed me. I've been around a long time, okay? Back when the dinosaurs used to roam the earth, okay? But when I came across this page, I was very, very impressed. There are a few people that I look at and say, this person can be, with what he is doing, the possible future. And when I looked at what he was doing, I had to get him on and invite, if you will, the shoe community to Roadium Radio so that you guys can see what he does. He could talk on it. And then one day when he becomes this big time millionaire, probably living in New York, and he forgets all about us here, you'll know that this was a Roadium Radio exclusive interview. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce Jose Zapatos.
Yes, sir.
How are you, man?
Feeling amazing, bro. It's truly an honor to be here.
Oh, man, thank you. Were you a little nervous, man? Did you like that intro?
Oh, loved it.
Okay, I practiced it in front of the mirror for
you.
you.
Made me feel like, up here, right? We still, still humble, keeping it humble.
The secret is to stay humble, bro, because, sometimes we can get so big-headed, bro. You know what I'm saying? That nobody can stand us. And you definitely want to stay humble because that's where people continue to come back and put money in your pocket.
Definitely.
But anyways, other than that, you told me that yesterday was your birthday. So happy birthday on behalf of Roadium Radio, man.
Muchas gracias. Mira, estamos crudos, pero mira, la estamos curándola.
So, okay, just really quick, fill us in. What was your birthday like yesterday, man? And if you don't mind me asking, how old did you turn?
30. Like you say, the dirty 30s.
The dirty 30s.
Big 30s.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Because for me, they did. Did your 20s go by fast?
After 21, I feel like it was downhill. Everything, stay.
Downhill?
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember when I turned 21. That's how.
You know what's funny, dude? Because I remember when I was like 40, and I was saying to myself, I can't wait to turn 50. And when I turned 50, I felt good, man. And now I'm 53, and I'm like 7 years away from 60, and I'm excited.
I feel like everybody wants to be 21, you want to be adult, como dicen, pero when you're finally adult, like, oh shit, you got to pay bills.
Yeah.
You start having, little arms hurting, kneecaps.
When I would consider myself old when I start hitting 80s.
Oh.
Then I'll say like, yeah, I'm kind of old.
50s is still, if you see my dad, he's 52.
Oh, really?
Parece igualito. He looks almost, I think I look a little older with the beard,
Oh, yeah, right. 50 is the new 30 for me.
Yeah.
So what did you end up doing yesterday? Just drinking, partying? Did you have a cake still?
Well,
stripper, anything?
I thought it was going to be like a regular day, just working. I woke up the night before, I was painting all night. And I thought it was just, regular day, but out of nowhere, I started hearing, my mom, I want you ready by 4. I was like, oh, shit. Out of nowhere, I started seeing all these little tables in the bag. I was like, wait a minute, like, it's a Tuesday, come on, like.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, people started coming. One of my boys came, my boy Yogi. He came, and then drinking a beer with him, whatever. Bro, in less than 10 minutes, you start seeing like a flood of people. Just all my closest homies, they came. Like, I wasn't expecting nothing. And then a grupo came, they had chirrines. So it was like, all my homies giving me shots, everything. And bro, to tell you, guess what happened? Like, it was so late that I woke up like at 7 in the morning in the toilet. I fell asleep in the restroom.
For real?
Yeah, shot after shot, drinking beer.
What kind of shots were you having? Anything?
Oh, bro, Centenario, Bucanas. My boy bought me champagne, drank that, so, it's a whole little...
Is your tolerance high when it comes to liquor?
I think beer.
Okay.
I used to kick it with this girl, all she drank was Henny. She know what I'm talking about. She used to drink nothing but Henny and Mickey's. So, them girls, I got a... That's how I built my tolerance, so now I could drink.
Damn, I haven't had Mickey since like the fucking 80s. You know what I'm saying? And Magnum and then King Cobra.
That's that old school shit, huh?
Yeah, dude, that's that shit. It tastes like unleaded, But yeah, I don't do that shit no more, bro. If I drink, I'll drink Modelo. But you know which one I like better now? Pacifico.
Oh, yeah.
I like Pacifico. Every once in a while, I like Victorias. I drink those. Once in a while, Bucanas with pineapple juice. But, boy, when I party with my boy MC Pancho, he wants us to always take shots to the head of Bucanas, bro.
Oh, hey.
I can't do that shit, bro. I want to celebrate and everything, but I'll be out, So I don't even take shots anymore. I just sip my shots.
Y para acabarla, my homies, Grupo J4, these fools, every tocada they have, bro, pinches. I'm not talking about no shot. I'm talking about like the drummer.
A chug.
My boy, the drummer, he be like tocando los drums y ahí chingándose el pinche shot, like non-stop, like, oh. Y yo cuando voy, obviously, you ain't gonna look like a little weenie, gotta, hey, viejón, caiga, pues ahí también nos emborrachamos. That's what I try not to go with them, because I already know what time, it's a hate and love situation.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this. When you party, man, do you like party to like, I just gonna get wasted and pass the fuck out, or you just try to take it easy and then you just ended up in the toilet by accident?
Oh no, that's never happened. So it's something that, bro, I was just, bro, right. I always drink, responsibly, and now, I have my fun, but I never drink to the point that I can't control myself or something. It's always,
right.
It's always, just have a good time.
Right.
That was the first time, bro, on my birthday, para acabarla,
right. Yeah, and you know what's crazy, bro? That you passed out. Okay, you're lucky that you didn't get your eyebrow shaved, or your mustache shaved, or they put marker on your damn face.
That's around the homies, huh?
Yeah, dude. Because we used to do that back in the 80s and early 90s. But, it's funny because we used to, write on dude's face, eat a dick, whatever. But today, that's what guys have today on their face. So anyways.
Maybe a bachelor party, something like that. I think that would happen,
Exactly.
Some hangover type shit.
So now let me ask this before we move on. Can you drink when you're hangover? When you're hungover?
I'm drinking.
Obviously, you are, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I can't. I'll be the whole day. I need to eat some mariscos.
Right.
And then the whole morning today, no pude. I was in bed.
For real?
Yeah, I was in bed. Y magically, aquí estoy drinking a beer. Yeah, back to normal.
We welcome
program
you.
Time.
Last night we were in here and we were taking shots and we were drinking because it was today's my homeboy's birthday, so it was kind of like a pre-party or whatever.
Yeah.
So shout out to my boy Mega Man Podcast. So now, where originally are you from, bro? Where did you grow up at?
Originally, South Central LA, over by 58 and Compton Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you attended schools all through South Central?
Mainly, no. It was always South Central, so I was always around. It was always Latino oriented.
Right.
And then we ended up moving from that house. They had to sell the house, so we ended up moving to an apartment over there on 95 in Figueroa.
Okay.
That's when I started, hanging around, different cultures and stuff, and
right.
And then later on, maybe 2 years later, I don't know, maybe almost 2 to 5. We ended up moving to which is Watts now. I've been living there for 16 years. Yeah.
Okay, in Watts. Okay.
Yeah.
In the nice part of Watts, right?
Yeah. No, gracias a Dios. Obviously, everybody was saying, "Oh, Watts this, Watts that," but I live, I don't live close to a project, so my blog is nothing but pretty much Latinos and a couple brothers, but
and I say that playing around because I got a lot of homies out there.
Yeah.
Okay, but in the 80s and early 90s.
Oh.
Okay. Yes, Wilmington at one point. It was voted twice, and I say this shamefully, was considered the worst city to live in LA County. And I know I lived through it, bro. That's why I say that if I survived the gang and the crack, pandemic or epidemic during that time, I could survive this pandemic, this COVID thing. But yeah, dude. So, but back then it was even South Central, bro. Come on, let's be honest. We all know the history of South Central, bro. So now, what elementaries, middle schools, and high schools did you attend?
Oh, I went to Hooper Avenue.
Oh, okay.
Elementary, and then from there I went to Barrett Elementary, también which was different. I was always moving around.
Right.
And then after that I went to Bret Hart Middle School. Y ya me fui a nomás duré 1 year or 2. Luego me fui a Markham Middle School. Yeah, I graduated in Jordan High, which is supposedly one of the worst schools. I was when I was in school, it was when there were the riots, the blacks versus Latinos.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
My brother actually had to get transferred out of Jordan because it was that bad. He used to dress with the baggy and.
Yeah.
And my mom even told me, hey, if you want, I'll also transfer you to southeast, which is pretty much across the street.
Right.
It's Southgate, so more más calmadillo. Pero I was like, no, I'm not having no problems.
No, when you say Jordan, you talking about Long Beach Jordan?
No, Jordan Watts.
Okay.
David Starr Jordan. I know there's a Jordan in Long Beach, but I went to the Watts Jordan.
Okay. All right. Yeah, dude. You know what? That's one thing that we can say that even out here, even in my high school, Banning High School, in the 80s and in the 90s. There was a lot of black and Latino, especially Wilmington, where you had a lot of Bloods and a lot of essays, and there were always a lot of fights, bro. A lot of shit always going down, man. But I'm glad that shit's over with, at least in some certain places,
Yeah.
But now let me ask you this. I know you're the shoe guy, okay? I know that's what you do. My thing is this: have you always been a shoe guy? I ask you that because me as a kid, I've always felt that I had to have more than one pair of shoes. I was always addicted to shoes. I think at one point, and it's probably not a lot to a lot of people, but I would say as a teenager, I probably had maybe about 15 pair of shoes, But my family couldn't afford them, so I had to do other things to, always get them. And I was the type of guy, take off my shoes, wear them for a few hours, clean them back up, put them back, kept the paper, closed the box. I'm that type of guy. Were you always that type of guy?
Honestly, my parents, they raised us, to never try to be something you're not, So
right.
I always had maybe 1-2 pairs. It was nothing crazy, Jordans. I never had Jordans in my life. So una vez sí, mi tía me regaló unos Jordans. Other than that, puros, just Vans. Until now, ahorita ya puros, I have like shoes that I always would have loved to have,
Right.
I could never afford it now,
Yeah, I remember getting on the bus, and we used to go to La Segundas, the secondhand stores. And I used to find shoes all the time, and I found one pair of shoes. Let's just say one was a size 9 and the other one was a size 8, okay? And my mom would always tell me, if you could fit in them, they're yours. So I used to squeeze my big ass foot,
man.
you know what I'm saying?
Trying to fuck that.
Yeah, I put them on, and then I was like, I found these. What size are those? 8.5.
Shit.
Do they fit you? Yeah, I want them. Okay, cool. But because I was always a shoe guy, you know. But the bad thing is I turned my kids into that.
Oh, so now pretty much like we give our kids, like a week and a half. That's where like my little brother, bro. He be getting some expensive shoes now.
Right.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: is that a good thing to do, though?
Honestly, I feel like if they earn it,
right?
Not out. Only when you they get good grades. My little brother, he graduated from a magnet school.
Good.
With King Drew. So I told him, hey, as long as you get good grades, lo que quieras, I'm gonna make sure you get it.
Right.
So lo tengo, I just bought him some shoes for his birthday. They were like the limited edition Towie from South Park. Los que when you put them in the sun, the eyes turn red, like because he smokes.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So los compré, his birthday is 420, so he's a 420 baby.
Oh, damn.
I would always tell my mom, hey, he's a 420 baby, but she would be like, what is that, huh? Like, the mom is an international day of, pie hits. Right. So yeah, le compré, he is a man though, he had to get that pair, so I couldn't get him when they came out, so I had to pay like $350, but I was like, hey, he deserves him, he's a good kid. He don't be in the streets.
I remember when the Jordan 1s came out, okay? My homeboy got them, and I had to get them. Of course, I had to do something to get them, And I got them, and they were like $110 or something like that,
Yeah, todavía están ahorita. That's on the price. Oh, back in the day, though.
Yeah, when they first came out. But back then, see, here's the difference, and this is for people that are in the shoe game. We didn't have to fight or order them, bro. We walked in, and they had them. And this is when Jordan was with Nike. Okay, we used to just walk in and just like, I want size, 13s, I want size 12s, or whatever, and they had them. When I got those, of course, I got the other ones the next one. And then after a while, I was like, fuck this. But I still have a collection of Jordans. You know what I'm saying? I love Jordan shoes. I'll tell you a shoe that I think is one of the dopest independent shoes ever, at least in my opinion. God, what's his name? Patrick Ewing's. I love Patrick Ewing shoes. Are you familiar with those shoes?
No.
Okay.
I should be. I feel bad because I don't. I should be.
Yeah.
I work with shoes. Come on,
Yeah.
Pero.
Look them up when you get a chance. Maybe we go to break Ewing's. That's what we call them, Ewing's. But they were Patrick Ewing shoes, basketball player. And I used to actually go to the Compton Indoor. That's where I used to buy them. Black ones, black leather ones, white leather ones, and then the other ones that I didn't think got too much props. When they came out were the Shacks, because you could buy them at Payless.
Oh, bro, I actually, that's one of the shoes that I thought was, man.
Like the Jordan.
My mom bought me I wore Shacks in elementary, bro. I rocked them like it was,
yeah.
Man, like I love these shoes, basketball, like, but I didn't know that was, one of the cheaper brands.
And I hope I don't butcher his name, Stephon Marbury. He even came with some dope shoes, but he went to Payless as well, okay? Now, I give credit to those guys, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because they all could have they were all superstars in the NBA, and they could have all gotten the big deals. But they said that they grew up poor, and they wanted every kid to be able to afford those shoes. So I bought my son some of those Shacks, bro. To be able to take like a cut like that just to do it for the next generation. That's dope, man. That's dope. And I'm sure there's people out there that probably sported Shacks, and don't try to lie, or Stephon Marbury's, you know what I'm saying? But the Ewings, to me, are dope. So when you get a chance, and they got like a nice little Velcro strap to go around your...
You know what I love? I love the pumps all day. 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I have like the tribal ones, the Aztec ones, the high tops. Tengo esos, and I have the black, the Shacks, los Santos black with the orange.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with pumps. Wherever I go, people be like, oh man, a lot of OGs, older cats, they be like, hey bro, I remember I used to have those back in the day, like
Do you remember, were they Reeboks?
Yeah, the Reebok, the
Reebok.
pumps, the black ones with the little orange.
Yeah, little basketball.
And then I always trick people, like, I'll pump it and then I'll start moving my foot. And then people will be like, oh shit, is it like, nah, I was like, nah, I'm just playing. I was just moving my foot, you know. There's no point. It's just, you know, people, it had that little thing, you could jump higher, you know, when you pump the basketball player. He pumped him higher, supposedly he was going to be able to.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. You decorate shoes, correct? Okay. What inspired or motivated you to start looking at a shoe and saying, let me start airbrushing, painting, decorating? Where did all that start for you?
Like, honestly, me, I've always been like a hustler, you know. I used to sell snapbacks. A lot of people know me as Snapback J back in the day. Okay. I used to sell at the trunk of my, you know, my car. I go cruising, you know, Pacific, and I open my trunk, and I'll just, you know, I was a hat guy back in the day. Okay. So then out of nowhere, I started looking up, hey, I want to start customizing hats. So, you know, I started looking at YouTube videos, and then I stumbled upon like a video of somebody painting shoes. Like, what the hell? I've never heard of, you know, somebody that paints shoes. So.
About how old were you at this time?
I was maybe like 18.
Okay.
18, 19, barely hitting that, you know, that little adult age. And I was really like, man, like this something like, I've always been into art, you know, ever since growing up. Right. Most of my family members, they're, my brother's artist, my mom's sister's artist, my dad's brother's artist. And now, you know, I'm an artist as well. I've always had art, but I never really took art as serious, you know, but until when I stumbled upon the shoe, I was like, hey, you know, let me give it a try. You know, paint the shoe, order the supplies, and then people started telling me, hey, bro, like, where you get those shoes at? You know, I've never seen those. Like, I painted them, you know. Right.
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have to ask this. Because to me, let's just say I got some Air Force Ones, some white ones.
Oh, that's the best one you could paint.
Yes. So now I got some, and then I'm thinking to myself, shit, if I fuck up, I just ruined this fucking shoe. Did you have that in mind?
I've had one that was like a big, like a $250 shoe. I actually recently did it. It was for Andy Ruiz. So it was like a big, like, oh shit, if I fuck up, you know, that's a...
Right. Let's save that story to after. Right. But now, but I'm talking about in the very beginning.
Oh yeah, in the beginning, I bought shoes, and honestly, I never, fuck it if I fuck it up. Because I was making good money at work, so...
Okay, just, so this was like an experiment.
I would do it in used shoes. I never did it on new shoes. It was always beaters, shoes that, I thought them, you know, with heels. So I was like, let me try it out. You know, worst that could happen, you know, either way I was going to throw them away, so might as well give it a shot.
Okay. So when you did your first shoe that you thought, like, okay, this is the shit, you started sporting it, what was the response that you got?
Bro, instantly, people like in the streets, cars would stop, be like, hey, like girls, you know, I actually started getting played from, you know, my shoes. Like, hey, that's some dope ass shoes. You know, people telling me, hey, where do you get those shoes at? And I would just always tell them, hey, you know, I'm learning to paint shoes. You know, just something I do for fun. But I always did it for fun. It was never actually like something I would consider, you know, a business, or I could be making money.
Okay, and so you started. About what point did you like feel like, okay, you know what, maybe I could start charging? You know, did anybody come up to you and say, you know, like, how did that begin, the business part? Did somebody say, hey, man, I got some shoes, man. You know, would you do me some shoes? You know, was that soon after, or did it take a while?
I think it was right away. People started, when I started noticing too many people wanted shoes, I was like, wait, I can't please everybody. At first, I did a lot of free work when I barely started. Okay. But then it got to a point like, hey, you know, I'm wasting my time that I could be spending with my family, or, you know, going out with friends, whatever. So I could be... You know, why am I wasting my free time? So I started charging like $20, $50, which was, you know, for the amount of work I do, is like, bro, regalado, you know?
Right. And how long do you think it'll take you to do? Let's just say, for an example, I give you some white shoes. Let's just say some white, I don't know, Nikes, whatever. And I say I want Raiders on the side. I'm not a Raiders fan, but I want Raiders on one side, Raiders on the other side. How long would that take?
Well, honestly, I work with a lot of shoes at a time, so it all depends on the design the person wants. Sometimes they just want like something. If you just want the logo, maybe like a day. If you want something like, you want me to repaint the whole shoe, you know, change the look of the shoe and you know, do art, it takes, you know, a little longer, maybe about a week, 2 weeks. But it all depends on the amount of shoes I have at the time.
So do you work with multiple shoes at one time?
pretty much sometimes while these are drying, I'm doing those. While those are drying, I'm doing some putting some leather on some shoes. So literally in my room right now, it's like I don't have the biggest room, you know. So I have shoes literally like on my bed in the front. I'll have shoes, you know, drying on this side.
Right. How did you know as far as what paint to use? Did you ask around? Did you just figure that out on yourself? Did you Google it, or you know?
It was through YouTube. You know, I started. I watched a lot of a lot of sneaker artists. I started doing a lot of research and miraba, you know, what they use, how to, you know, you gotta prep the shoe. You gotta, you know, with the nail polish remover, you gotta, you know, sand some parts of the shoe. The shoelaces, you know, you gotta sand down. It's a little process, you know, but that's where I started.
Shoelaces sand down?
Yeah, I sand down the shoelace and then I will change the color. If they want like gold tips, you know, they want orange, whatever, I'll change the color as well on the laces.
Wow. Okay. I guess I'm trying to understand. Why would because I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's people out there trying to understand. Why would you sand down the shoelaces? Is it because is there something on there that prevents from paint to get? I don't know.
No, like if let's say you paint the lace. If you don't sand it down, you know the paint is not gonna stick. So if you know wash it or whatever, it's gonna come off. So you need to sand it down. That way, when you paint it, it's gonna grip on, you know, good on the shoelace.
Oh wow!
And then on top of that, you gotta add another like a sealer. That way, it'll protect the paint.
Okay. Now, did you ever research the history or the origins of painting shoes?
Well, from what I know that I've heard, you know, it originated in New York, Brooklyn. Right now, that's where it's really hot. You know, that's when it started.
Right.
As I started learning more about how to paint, you know, different stuff. That's when I found out that it was really hot back in the days in New York. That's where it originated.
Yeah, you know what? Because if a lot of us that like movies like either Beast Street, Style Wars, Wild Style, we catch a glimpse of shoes, you know, that had like airbrush, like almost it looked like somebody bombed on them, like the way they used to bomb on the walls.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the way you used to. So I used to see that, but I never knew like where do you buy those? But little did I know they were homemade. You know, and I wonder what they used to use back then. Markers, you think, or
I think either markers or, you know, airbrush machines. You know, back in the day, like maybe when it was 10, 15 years, estaba pegando mucho like airbrush, the shirts. Everybody got out the shirts, so I think, you know, they will use airbrush to do the shoes. Okay,
do you use airbrush as well?
I've been meaning to learn, but I actually bought one of the most expensive machines, which it costs like $400 to $500. I was so scared to, you know, clog it up or whatever, so I ended up selling it. But let's say a job that normally takes you like a week, you know, 2 weeks, you could do it like in 3-4 hours with an airbrush. So it's definitely something I need to look into, you know, because, you know, it'll be a lot better for me. I'll finish, you know, and it looks a lot better. You know, you could do the fading, the shit, you know, the background, whatever. That's what I need to start getting into that.
Wow. Now, outside of shoes, do you do anything else as far as pants? You know, because remember back in the days, people, they used to do it a lot with like stone-washed jeans, and they used to write their name on the side of the leg, like, you know, some old school b-boy type of shit. Do you do anything like that outside of shoes?
They have asked me back, like, you know, they wanted me to do like cap and gowns, jackets, but I send them to somebody else, you know, because I just, you know, shoes is my thing. I don't want to get, you know, start doing. I could do it, you know, the paint that I use, it could go into, you know, pants, whatever, but I've never really thought about it to paint anything else. Okay,
and at what point did you realize, man, like, damn, I think I could make a living off of this?
Oh, well, me, like, I've always been, you know, job to job, working minimum wage. Even for 5 years, I started, I watched cars for Hertz, car rentals.
Okay.
And that took a, you know, a big part of my life until, and then I'll paint shoes, you know, here and there. But de repente, you know, I started seeing like a lot of people, you know, charging $50 a shoe. They will be like, oh, wait, I'm getting, you know, 10, 15 pairs. Like, wait, I could start. So I started, you know, bumping a little bit more. Little by little, I started, you know, as I'm getting more better. You know, like when you barely start, obviously, you know, you want to charge cheap. That way you build your portfolio. But when I started seeing like a lot of orders, I was like, wait a minute, you know, I have something here, like, you know.
Right.
I'm good at art, and always been good at art, and come on, it's a no-brainer. I love sneakers now, and you know.
Do you have a manager?
No,
not
at the moment. I know there's a few that have. The homeboy Bad Rabbit, I've been working with him a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, he's pretty much the one that's been, you know, like there for me, getting me, you know, opening using his
Platform.
yeah, his platform and the people that he knows. He works with a lot of the pretty much all the West Coast. All the rappers he works with them. So he's been putting me on. Like taking me to places or inviting me when he has a artist so I can meet him.
Okay.
And then I get another custom.
That'll work. So check this out. We're gonna go ahead and take a 10-minute break. We're gonna come right back, and I believe you have some little examples you want to show us?
I brought a couple,
Okay, cool. So that way you guys can see what he is talking about. And meanwhile, when you guys are on break, you guys can go to his page. His Instagram has been up, and you guys can see what he's doing. I think he's booked for a while now, so I don't know if you guys order something, if you guys can get it anytime soon. But check out his page, and we're going to check out some of his shoes when he gets back, okay? And the shoes that he walked in with were dope too. So maybe I might just have him take those off and show you guys. So once again, call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, let them know that Zapatos is in the motherfucking building. We'll be back 10 minutes. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch.
A.DA, chillin' at the Roadium with my homeboy Steve. Be on the lookout for our new 12-inch, the shit is dope. Yo, I like to say what's up to my homeboy Dre, my homeboy Prince of Jazz, and the girls with the big ol' ass. So Trip, I'm about to bust one more time to let y'all niggas know just what's on my mind.
In the morning, police at my door. Fresh Adidas squeak across my bathroom floor. Out my back window, I make my escape. Didn't even get a chance to grab my old school tape. Mad with no music, but happy cause free. And the streets to a player is the place to be. Got a knot in my pocket weighing at least a grand.
Hey Tony, drop that.
What bass? I bet.
My name is the Croft, the C-R-A-W-F-O-R-D, the poet high C. Tony A, the wizard, just as cool as a blizzard. Thinking out of turn, stabbing pussy like a lizard. Oops, I'm sorry, homie, I didn't mean to say that. Steve is in the house, come on, won't you play that funky dope beat? You know you gotta throw me some Stanley's ass Croft, coming straight from the Roadium.
You are now about to witness
Tony A.
Get funky. Tell them where you from.
You don't think how I'm living, well, fuck you.
Moving on a Saturday night in LA. Yo, feeling kinda funky. Stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to.
What the hell are you looking for? Can a young man make money anymore? Where my jewels are like freaking on the floor? Or is it my job to make sure I'm poor? Destruction is horrible, nourish not justify. Those that live at the FBI, look at mama's baby.
Ice Cube getting dumb at the Roadium with the funky drum, and you know my man Steve can get some. With a fool like Tony A when he plays stupid dope shit by WA. You wanna spray? Dumb motherfuckers, no doubt. And sucker DJ.
Get the fuck out.
Tony A.
What did you say your name? What did you say your name?
Tony A.
I have won 1 million battles.
Lights, cameras, action sound. Give me that mic, I'm about to go down.
thinking of a master plan.
This story's funny. I met this girl and she had money.
Leave the camera on me. Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio, and you caught me telling my dude to turn off the air conditioner, so you caught me slipping. So other than that, we're just going to go ahead and jump right back into it with Jose Zapatos. Hopefully, well, you got some followers, some people checked out your page.
Oh, yeah, right now.
You know what I'm saying? Believe me, you guys are going to want to order from him. I don't know how long it's going to take, because there's only one Jose Zapatos.
I'm actually close to 2022, so I haven't took anybody, you know.
And that's not due to COVID. That's just due to...
It's just to the amount, yeah.
Right.
Right now, I want to focus on... I'm actually taking a class, the sneaker... I forgot what it's called. Pretty much, you deconstruct the shoe, and then you put it back to whatever you want.
For reals?
Yeah. But that class costs like $5,000. But during the pandemic, they were charging $600, $700, so you could learn pretty much virtually, you know.
Right.
You do everything on your own. It's not hands-on, but you know, you order the kit or whatever, and then
right.
Yeah, so that's what I've been focusing more on.
So this is to take apart a shoe?
Yeah, to completely take it apart, everything, you know, quitas todo, and then put it back together with your own little mix, you know, put different materials, different furs. And a shoe like that, it go around from 1,000 to 5,000 per shoe. That's how much the guy, the sneaker surgeon, is a Semal guy.
No shit.
He's like he's like the goat of the sneaker.
Now, let me ask you this, because especially in the rap world, sneakers are big, bro.
Oh yeah, bro. Everybody, you know, always loves standing out.
Yeah, so it's sneakers are big. So I know you got a damn future in the sneaker business. So is the competition? Is it big out there, man? Is there a lot of competition out there?
There is, but honestly, you know, at the end of the day, people are gonna go with, you know, like me, I'm humble, you know, and whoever wants to, you know, get shoes from me, they're gonna, you know, pero ahorita, gracias a Dios, bro, I can't. One time my uncle told me, hey, one day you're not gonna know what to do, you're gonna have so many orders, you know, you're not gonna be able to handle them. And I laughed at him, you know.
Have you already considered training someone? Because I know they may not have your talent, but you can get somebody that can draw and paint or whatever to maybe help you
I actually have people have reached out to me like, hey, I want to be, I want to work for you, like, but como digo, like, it's not gonna be the same, I know that when I give a person a shoe, right, it's gonna be quality, so I don't want somebody else to do a bad job and it reflects bad on myself. So
okay. Now you wanted to share with us a Chapo story.
Yeah.
Okay, share with us the Chapo story. I want to hear it. Yeah. I'm intrigued.
Well, honestly, I was painting shoes y todo, and I thought of something that will make me, stand out. So I started going to these events before COVID. I started going to these events. Y usaba this little mask right here. Look.
So you used to walk around with that?
Yeah, I'll go to events. You usaba la máscara del Chapo. I'll wear it, bro. I'll go to like tailgates, whatever, and then I wore one of my shoes that I made. So with the whole, I have like a little bulletproof vest y todo iba, and yeah. Oh, bro, the people were like, oh, they like, hey, what do you do? Where do you get the shoes at? Boom, man. Toda la gente want to take pictures with me, like with the mask, like, oh, people like, hey, come get a beer, Chapo, come get some, hey, jefe, come get a plato of comida, like,
What inspired you to wear that damn mask, man?
Just, like, he's known for, like, I don't want to say,
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah. So he's known for, like, being violent, whatever. So they always tell me, man, you be murdering, killing these shoes. So I was like, man, why don't I, my logo, if you see it, my logo, tengo a Chapo mask, and it's a AK-47 paintbrush. So the AK is shaped like a, paintbrush. And then it was me with a mask on my logo. That's me. Yeah.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And do you still wear the mask to events?
Oh, no, ahorita no. Actually decided to, because, I don't know if you heard about it, but the daughter, she started, Chapo, like Guzman, whatever. They started doing, their own brand. So one of my homeboys, Hex from LA, he told me, hey, bro, you need to let that shit go, the mask, and you need something that, that's you, something that you own, brand yourself, algo que, you're always hiding behind a mask. Nobody knows who you are, so you need to start,
Yeah, your face.
No, pero con la máscara, bro, I've come out like unos 10 different music videos. A lot of rappers, my homeboys, a lot of homies que, they're in the music industry, they would tell me, hey, come to my music video, come out, y todo, y salía con el dinero, y todo eso,
they I think his wife pleaded guilty or something, huh?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, she got, throw some dirt on him or whatever, but,
Wow.
But I was like, I want to get even though, maybe something, a lot of people that don't like Chapo too, so, different.
Right, you don't want somebody running up on your ass.
But now, you know what, like, yeah, so, would you like to tell me, te digo, what I did after, or?
Yeah, go for it, man.
So, yeah,
the floor is yours, brother.
Yeah. So, one of my homies, J4, Jonathan, he's a drummer for Grupo J4.
Okay.
He told me, he would always call me Zapatos, because my name is _ de los Zapatos, my IG.
Right.
But he would always call me Shoes, Zapatos, so it kind of, started ringing a little bell in my ears. So I was like, man, wait, I should be, put my name as Zapatos. So I got together with my homie, Hex from LA, and he's a graphic artist. And boom, it was no-brainer, boom. He threw in a little logo, and it's Zapatos. That's the birth of Zapatos now.
So that's because somebody was just calling you Shoes, or?
Oh, my homie, Jonathan, he would always call me Shoes, Zapatos, wherever I went, that was my name.
Right.
The whole family, all the J4 family, they know me as Zapatos. So they don't know my real name. Nobody knows my real name now. Zapatos.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember this one guy said, are you going to have chanclas next? And I said, maybe.
And actually I have my baby merch is Zapatitos. That's,
okay.
I have a little clothing brand dropping soon, so,
okay.
But I named that Zapatitos, and I made a different logo with that, You know how the little kids cuando pintan with their fingers?
Right.
My logo for that little brand is pretty much like the kids' fingerprints, see.
Okay.
Rubbed, see, luego ya. Y luego dice Zapatitos.
You know what? Why don't you show them one of those exhibits that you have, an example. You could show the people if they haven't gone to your page. Can you show us one?
One on?
Just start from the very beginning. Give us your bread and butter to the end.
Oh, yeah, all right. So this one, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen Titanic, right?
Titanic, yes.
So, when he draws a girl, like, I want you to draw me like one of the French girls.
Yeah, she gets butt naked or something like that,
so
right?
I was, I came out with this, I drew a rose on a shoe.
Okay.
So I've always, I've loved doing, ideas that nobody would think of doing. Like, who would ever put, rose on a shoe?
Yeah. Yeah, and how does that work for you? Do people like that image? Do they enjoy it? They're like, I want one of those.
No, I mean, this is perfect, just to show what I can do. Then. Example, in the description it says, Zapatos, draw me like one of your French girls, so.
Okay.
This is one. Just I always get little ideas to see, and
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have those as an example, so people just can see what you can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always like whenever I have an idea and nobody asks for it, I'll be like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself, and that's how people might want something different, but at least they can see what I can do.
Right.
Oh, those? Close them up.
Okay.
It
Hold that up. No, I'll be able to tell you right now. No, right there's good. Right there is good. Now, is that on your Instagram as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys can go to his Instagram and also look that one up. That's the Titanic one.
Yeah.
Next, he's going to show one about the old lady. Nah, I'm going to play.
And obviously, it was a no-brainer. I had to do my logo, on the
Okay.
shoe. So
Okay.
this,
And that's an example, too, that people can get their name or...
any brand. I always tell people, your brand is not...
Right.
It's not official until it's stamped on the shoe.
Right.
So all my homies with brands, they've been tapping in.
Now, on something like that, maybe you don't want to give away your secret. Like for me, it like I couldn't tell what you used.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do it free-handed, but I always like having something. Okay.
Right.
Obviously, somebody's paying. So I want to give them some quality stuff. So
right.
With this, I use stencils. I have a Cricut machine.
Okay.
And pretty much take out the stencil and nomás lo pegas y pintas ahí.
Right. Okay, you know what, Alex, can you take down his name real fast so that they can see it? Watch. Let me see, because it's holding it up right there.
And then on the other shoe, the first shoe I ever drew, I decided to put it on the shoe. So it's me holding the first shoe I ever made on the shoe.
Okay, and like how old is that one right there?
This one?
Yeah.
What do you mean, how old?
Like when you did your first shoe, you said?
Oh, it was when I barely started, maybe like 3 years ago.
Okay.
This is the first shoe that really, people started, hey man, this is dope, when the people really started.
Okay.
So I decided to put it on a shoe, something. I don't wear them, I just keep them as memory,
Okay, that'll work. I know you had some other ones that you did for your father, if I'm correct.
Yeah, for Christmas, he's so difficult, he pretty much has anything that he would want. So I was like, what can I give him that will make him, man, like, something different, I always, you give him the usual, sweaters, cologne, different stuff. So I was like, man, let me try. He's been wanting some shoes. So with poker, he loves poker. So he told me que la hiciera unos con el poker. But I was like, man, I'm going to do something that will actually really, it'll really, bring him. So he says, his father passed away maybe about when he was a couple years ago. And then my tío just recently passed away as well. So this is something different I started doing. I started doing tribute shoes.
Okay.
So when somebody passed away, I put them on the shoe now. People ask, they request. This is one of my bread and butters. Really? A lot of people ask me when somebody passed away, that we know who to go to.
Okay.
Look, my grandpa.
Yeah.
He was a gallero, so I put him and then my tío with a little bottle. And these shoes, bro, like he's never been like the one to show sentimientos or whatever. And these almost made him cry.
Yeah.
He really he just licked up the shoes like man, like my little brother over there in the corner, he's a little mad because he spent like $300 on a little on a JBL speaker, and my dad just boom, when he seen these, oh man, like
it meant more.
So we thought like, man, my little brother like, man,
like I spent all that money.
I spent all that money, and this dude just painted something on the shoe, and it meant a lot to my dad.
Yeah, that'll work. Now I can see he never wore them.
Oh no, he's waiting for a special occasion, but he keeps them in a little glass. Whenever I give some shoes like these, I lo doy con candles, electric candles, and then most people don't even wear these. When I do something like a tribute shoe like this, they just have them displayed in their house. They don't even want to wear them. They spend all that money and they just want to have them displayed with the candles.
For an example, say you did that for someone, what would something like that go for?
Something like this, depending on how much detail they want, normally unos $250 to $300, shoes included. Okay. That's what I know. And then if they want this, the box, $300 ahí con todo y caja y candles y todo eso.
Okay, that'll work, man. That'll work. I know you said you had your bread and butter, and it tripped me out when you told me. So can you show us?
Oh, the little, the icing on the cake.
Yes. Put both of them on the table.
Oh, both?
Yeah.
So me being like, I pretty much baby shoes, everybody's always having babies. So
right.
I started doing like, these are baby off-whites, but these are chilindrinas.
Right.
You know, I like to think outside the box, something that no artist will want to, you know.
Right.
So I do like these are off-whites. Off-whites cuestan like unos 1,000, 2,000. So I decided to do, why not do chilindrina?
Okay.
So I did some chilindrina, off-whites, and I did some Kiko. These are Kikos.
Okay. And for the people that don't know who Kiko Chilindrina is,
Chavo el Ocho, you know.
Chavo del Ocho. Yeah.
Actually, I also had Chavo el Ocho, but I gifted it to one of my boys. My boy Jaciel,
okay.
you know. He just had a baby. I was like, hey, you know what? He was like, bro.
Can I see one?
Yeah. These are selling for like 300 a pop. Los vendo.
Really?
Yeah, because off-whites, they cost like, 1,000, whatever, resale. And this is something that nobody's going to have. Nobody in the world has, something like that. So
They look, okay, at least for me, looking at them, they look like you can buy them at a store.
Yeah.
They don't look cheap. I just don't know if I would spend that much on a shoe that my baby's only going to wear one time.
Yeah.
So.
But normally, baby shoes, I usually charge $150, shoes included. But something like this, like off-white, obviously off-whites, they're always sold out. So I was like, these got to go a little bit more,
Let me see the Chilindrina one.
It's our Chilindrinas right here.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, what would we consider Chavo del Ocho, a sitcom? I mean, because I know for us...
It's not a novela, huh?
It's not a novela either.
Yeah.
But it was comedy.
Yeah.
It was a comedy show. I don't know probably what we would call it.
And also on my page, I also have like, for a minute I was doing, the Jumpman from the Jordan?
Yeah.
I'll do like, I even did some Chalino, Baraja de Oro 11s. So I drew Chalino with the gun and a Tejana on the Jordan, on the little logo.
Shit.
And that I do it with toothpicks. That's my toothpick art. Con un toothpick dibujo así. I've done Ariel Camacho, I've done Chavo el Ocho, Chespirito.
Wow. And so, and this is your bread and butter right here?
Yeah, the babies all day.
Wow, that's dope, man. That's dope.
And I'm always gonna have this. Always gonna have Highly, everybody's having babies all the time.
Of course, especially Mexican families with rabbits, bro. So they're always gonna. So they can reach you on Instagram, but you said you're already closed for 2020 or 2021.
Actually, here's a little secret,
Okay, tell us.
I'm gonna spill the beans right here, in a show, But I don't know if you noticed when Corona hit. Guess what happened? The toilet paper, right? Toilet paper, all the essentials.
Yeah.
What was happening with that? It was selling out, right?
Right.
It was selling out, and then they'll restock it. Even some places they were raising the price,
right,
and they were still selling out. So the man, why don't I implement that same strategy onto my business? So that's why I put close to 2022, and then ever since that, people still DM me, hey bro, I see you're closed, but I was wondering, if you could take me in, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm a little busy, but I could squeeze you in maybe like next month or something. So I'll take anybody, bro. I'll take. I even had like 100 pairs at a time. And really? I had to cut that off because I was stressing myself, and people queriendo quedar bien con todos. Right. I ended up quedando mal because no hacía los. I wouldn't give them to the people in time.
Okay, who is the biggest person you've ever done a shoe for?
Oh, so far right now, thanks to my boy Young Blacks and CJ, they put in work for me with Latin Beast TV, and he's right now he's working with Andy Ruiz.
Okay.
So I recently did shoes for him for the fight he just had. Okay. The first Mexican heavyweight of the world, And
you did his shoes?
Yeah, I just did them.
Okay, so you met him, and where did you do them? How, or can you give us a story?
Well, I was, laying down, eating cereals. It's just gonna be, a day off, just watching, TV, whatever. Out of nowhere, boom, my boy Young Black hits me up like, hey, bro, he sent me, I send you something on Instagram. I get so many messages. Sometimes I don't even have time to, to look at the messages. So he told me, I just sent you something. I'll put in word with Latin Beast. They're looking for somebody to do shoes for Andy Ruiz. So I give him a call, and then hit DM him. So fuck it, I DM'd him. Luego me dijo, hey bro, can you come to San Diego? And I told him, bro, I'll leave right now. Yeah. Huh?
That day?
Yeah, right away, like in less than an hour. Todo pasó eso y me dijeron, hey, can you come to San Diego? Like, I'll leave right now, I'll leave in an hour. Like, hell yeah, I'm down. So I hit one of my homies. Like, hey bro, vamos a, can you down to go to San Diego? This guy, his name's Gerardo. He loves right now he'll be in Oaxaca, and the next day he'll be in San Diego. He loves traveling. So right away in cuanto le dije, he said, I'll pick you up. Can I go right now? Pick you up? I was like, fuck it, let's go. Me llevé todo, all my equipment, my paintbrushes.
So it happened just like that?
Yeah, all my machines. I dropped everything I had and me fui,
So obviously somebody had already told Andy Ruiz about you, and he said, let's do it.
Well, yeah, they were looking for somebody. So Latin Beast, he's right now he's working with he's recording him YouTube on YouTube y todo. So he's the one that I had to go through and then talk to his brother, to Andrew's brother.
Okay, so you get there and what happens?
I get to I had to rent a room, renté un cuarto nearby, and ahí pretty much esperé hasta que they were ready and they told me to pick up the shoes. I went y ahí estaban todos sus homies y todo, and he kind of told me what he wanted on the shoes. He showed me the trunks, nobody had seen them, so me enseñó los trunks y I kind of threw in little ideas that, different designs he could do.
Right.
Y le gustó uno, and boom, ya. Me fui, llegué al room que renté like at 10. And esperé allí, and then pretty much the whole night, desde las 10 de la noche hasta las, like at 8, 9 a.m., pretty much all nighter. Ahí, in the rooms, con las rentas en cuarto, ahí tienen, Starbucks, ¿cómo se dice? Red Bull, Gatorade, I got all that shit. Todo del I emptied it out y ahí me lo tomé. I was like,
so you didn't do it in front of them, you did it back in the room?
No, back in the room.
Okay, so then they were done. Then what did you say? Hey, call them up, tell them they're done?
They reached out to me, the brother. I told them, I think they were training or something, so they told me, hey, I told them the shoes are ready, and they said, oh, we'll let you know we're in the office. So I fui, ya los terminé y se los llevé.
Okay, and what was his reaction when he first saw him? Do you remember what his facial expressions were?
Oh, right away he se fue and he went to the trunks, and he just, miré que he put them next to the trunks, and he was like, man, like, le puse como a pearl purple, matching his trunks.
Right.
Ahí está en my page, ahí está todo.
Okay. Yeah, so everybody, if you want to see the shoes that he did for Andrew Ruiz, which he wore in his last fight.
Yeah, the recent fight he just had.
Yeah, go ahead and check it out. It's on his Instagram. He has pictures of all that there. And you actually have a picture with Andrew Ruiz on there as well.
When I met him, that was originally what I was, I just wanted a picture, honestly. Man, the heavyweight of the world, like,
right.
I'm good with that, I won't, I wouldn't want to charge him, like.
Right.
It was like an honor, like, man.
Yeah.
Somebody so big like him, to put his trust in somebody from from Watts,
right.
The unknown, like, man, that was really a really big opportunity that I couldn't pass on.
Now I know now, if looking at your page now, I see you're doing something different. It's just not painting the shoes. You're actually putting material on the shoes.
Yeah, I'm putting I'll put like Gucci. I'll put that's something extra. Yeah, I've been doing. Different materials. Y también I also put like people's HD, like like a picture. Let's say you take a picture right here, I could put that picture on a shoe. This is like a special paper que lo planchas on the shoe, and then ahí se queda pegado. Se queda pegado is permanent, and it will look like literally like that's what I've been doing. A lot of the tribute shoes que hago.
Yeah.
I've been putting the people's pictures on that.
Wow. And how can you bring any of those, man? I wanted to see some of those.
Those I do them, by pretty much by order. A lot of shoes.
Okay.
And I haven't, hasta ahorita no he hecho. I've been meaning to do some for myself. A couple of the homies that had passed away. Just not even wear them, just have them right there displayed. Right. People that that were there for me when I was unknown. Pero ahorita no tengo tiempo de
Right now, as far as the material stuff that you put on, how are those selling for you?
Those a little. They sell, and it's pretty much easy. Something that I'll normally do like in a a week or two, I could do it like in a day, 1, 2, 3 hours. And that's pretty much easy,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know my son said he wanted some Gucci.
Yeah. And it's different. I have different options, You want the OG, for everybody's budget. You get the original, you get the, the cheaper, cheaper option.
Okay. Wow, that's dope, man. And well, how can people, other than Instagram, is that your only outlet for them to get at you and order?
Yeah, actually, right now tengo una website is being built by my uncle. Me lo está haciendo, pero no tengo tiempo para, my merch y todo eso también. No, most of my merch, I never sell my merch. I gift it to people whenever they do me a paro, show me love any type of way to me and my family. I give them, No me cuesta nada, it's something that means a lot to me, my brand. So I like giving it away. I never like selling it.
Like the shoes you came wearing today, I could see those being somewhat of a seller, bro.
Oh, yeah. That one, whenever bro, on the voy a la groceries, whatever, me dicen like, people will stop me like, hey, you have some badass shoes. Where can I get some? And that's when, yeah.
How much would a pair of shoes like that cost?
Algo así, depending with the shoe, unos 300, 350.
Okay.
I'll take it off for you right now,
Yeah, let me see it. I'll show them. Alex, can you open that door, please? Let me see. Okay, kind of explain what kind of shoe it is, just in case they can barely see it.
Oh, this is a suede Jordan 1.
Okay, and then that's what type of material you got on there?
I threw some Gucci on there, just.
Okay.
But I hardly wear them, because I've had them for like 3 years.
No shit.
3 years and they're still intact,
Oh wow, that's dope right there, man.
And wherever I go, any concert, whatever, people they'll see me on stage or whatever, and they'll be like, hey, I want something like that. And I'll just be like, get at me on Instagram.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
You know what? What's the most expensive shoe you've ever sold so far?
Expensive, I would have to say. Well, ever since I did the Andy Ruiz, I started. It really got people to actually value my artwork. So, normally I used to charge $20, $50. Right now I'm charging $400 to $500 a pop, shoes included. So that's what I've been.
You got.
I think the most expensive now is $500. Yeah, yes. That's my. Antes miraba, there's another sneaker artist. Her prices are $250 to $750, even up to $1,000 for the artwork. I'll be laughing like, man, what the hell? Like, why is she charging so much?
Is it any good?
Yeah, no, it's good. She has like 250,000 followers. So she's already 5-10 years in. I'm probably 2-3 years in. So, but I never thought somebody would actually pay that that amount of money. Right. So I would always charge 100, 150, and I thought that was a lot. And now that I'm charging 400, 500, and I tell people that, and then they still be like, hey, can I take you 2-3 pairs? I'll be like, hey, nah, like not right now. I'll let you know when I could. Yeah.
Wow.
I have people waiting right now that they're willing to pay the 400 or 500.
Are you doing this full time now?
Yeah, full time. I'm actually a full time celebrity chauffeur. I drive celebrities for a living. So, but because of pandemic, I got laid off. So that's when I really it was a downfall for a lot of people, but it was actually where I found my calling. Like to paint shoes, and I would always when I paint shoes, I just stay in and paint.
Yeah.
So now that we actually were forced to stay in, it was like, man, I was made for this. Like now I'm staying in, painting, and
right.
Yeah.
That'll work, man. We come to the end of our interview, bro. Is there anything that I didn't ask you, anything that we didn't cover, or anything you want to promote or shout out? Let's do it now.
Honestly, like, man, I'm lost for words now. I think we pretty much covered everything.
Okay. Once again, everybody follow him on Instagram, and once again, get at him what kind of shoes. And you have examples on your Instagram.
Yeah, I have every show I've ever done. I have it on my. I have almost 200, 300 different shoes that I've done.
Okay, that'll work. Other than that, any shout outs you want to give, man?
Man, I don't know if we have enough time
for
all the shout outs I want to. These are the people that that been there with me ever since since I was nothing to now.
Right.
They never now they ain't come out of nowhere so there's a couple of people. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to my parents, my little brother, my brother Damien, the homie Alexander, Bola, JR, Battle Rabbit, Grupo J4, Chacaron, Young Blacks, Baseball Head, Galvez, the whole Hub City team, Kiki Smooth, Latin Beast, Caesar Laughter, Gallo, Paul, Gerardo, William, Yogi, Stitch, Cartel Clothing, the homie Cargo, Organized Grind, Ronnie, Fox, Scandalous, Drew Beats, the homegirl Officially Lovely. I'm pretty sure her. Yeah, her, Ray Padilla, the homie Mikey, Dazer, Junebug, Tony, Eric Star, Gocho, Saul, Tank, Bucanas, Carlos, Jalisciense, the homie CJR and his dad, my neighbor GQ, Black the Barber, Little D, Squardo, and Just Drew, and the homie Hectic. It's a big list, but it's people that they deserve. Now they have the spotlight. I want to shine on my people. That's what my movement is all about. Shining light on all my people. And
that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
that's the way it should be.
Now using my platform to I never thought it would be I could inspire people.
Right.
From just painting shoes. I never thought that people hit me up like, hey, you inspired me to want to start my own business. And
yeah,
and
well, that's what it's all about, bro. Is never forgetting those that were there for you, and that's one thing that I'm very big at too. So, it's shining light on people, bro. So, let's go ahead and continue, and I hope you continue winning, man.
Appreciate that.
And one day, hopefully, you get to do some shoes for me.
So Well,
So
well,
Roadium
you know,
radio shows.
yeah, I was actually thinking about it, but I didn't have enough time. But I was gonna do something, with the little diamonds and everything. And
Hey, everybody, you heard him here. He said it.
shit.
I'm calling you live on that.
all my people gonna be hitting me up like, hey man, you told me you got me next.
Hell yeah, so I could put my feet up here.
With my, displayed right here,
Exactly, bro. You know what? I'd do that, put it in the box. So other than that, man, once again, thank you very much for being here, coming through, blessing us with this interview. And after, when you blow the hell up, you're going to come back and give us another interview, or else we're going to go looking for your ass.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to put that on my page. It's always going to be there,
Awesome, bro. Muchas gracias, bro. Thank you. Okay, everybody, once again, Jose Zapatos, an amazing artist. Thank you for coming through. And up next, we got Sav did it. So he's in the motherfucking building. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't fuck around. Go get yourself a cup of noodles and some modelos, and we'll be back. 10 minutes.
Yo, this is how I see it. Tony A. Chilling at the Roadium with my homeboy Steve. Be on the lookout for our new 12-inch. The shit is dope. Yo, I like to say what's up to my homeboy Dre, my homeboy Prince of Jazz, and the girls with the big ol' ass. So Trip, I'm about to bust one more time to let y'all niggas know just what's on my mind.
In the morning, police at my door. Fresh JEDI squeak across my bathroom floor. Out my back window, I make my escape. Didn't even get a chance to grab my old school tape. Mad with no music, but happy 'cause free. And the street to a player is the place to be. Got a knot in my pocket weighing at least a grand.
You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio, and this is episode 168. And before I introduce my next special guest, let me just go ahead and give a shout out once again to Jose Zapatos. Make sure you guys follow him on Instagram for the latest like footwear. If you want to be fly, that's the guy. So other than that, once again, submit your music, videos, short bio to roadiumradio@gmail.com. Once again, music, if you have any videos, if you have any visuals are important today, okay? And a short bio to roadiumradio@gmail.com. For the merch, go to DOCUMIXERY.com, DOCUMIXERY.com. And for those of you that may not have not seen the Roadium Mixtape DOCUMIXERY documentary, you can go to the website or you can watch the 1 hour film festival version free on our YouTube channel that has been available. The reason why I bring that up, because somebody actually asked me today, where can I watch it? So it's on our page. Other than that, let me go ahead and introduce my special guest for the night. Sav did it. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing great, Tony. It's good to be here, man. How you feeling?
Brother, I'm good. I want to know how you're feeling, because you were just talking about a session you had last night,
right,
where you were drinking and you woke up hungover as well.
I wasn't feeling like shit today, man. but you know, I just blacked out the windows, man, and got my rest on. So I can make sure I was well put together enough to come here. But man, it was dope, man. Me and my boy T-John Annex, man. We've done a lot of music over the years. He pretty much taught me how to engineer everything. We had a session last night with Tay Third, a few other guys from Long Beach that are doing their thing too. So yeah, we were there all night, man. A lot of Jameson.
Oh shit!
Yeah, a lot of Jameson, a lot of vodka. Long night.
Yeah, you know it's funny, man. The last time I had Jameson, okay, it was out in Inglewood. We had a session with Quick, Second to None, AMG, and fuck, dude, like several bottles of the Jamesons, you know. And after a while, I was like, I'm done with this shit. I'm going, dude. I don't remember how I got home that day.
Right.
It was one of those days.
Yeah.
you know when you kind of wake up and you're like, holy shit.
How the fuck did I get here?
Yeah, like, okay, what happened? You know, did I post anything stupid?
Yeah, you gotta go run back shit.
Yeah. But my guest before you, it was his birthday yesterday.
Oh shit.
And he woke up hungover in the bathroom. So
well, better there than on the street.
Yeah. You know, let me ask you this: give us your most horrific fucking hungover story. Did you wake up anywhere weird or anything like that?
All right, this is an interesting story. So I was in Watts. I used to car club. Shout out to Watts Life Car Club, man. I used to car club with them guys. It's all love to this day, man. I used to car club with them, so we went out and did a whole bunch of lowrider functions and shit throughout the day. And then like later on that night, I had a friend in San Pedro that called me like, hey man, I'm having a party, come by the crib, this, that, and the third. So of course, I pick up some bottles, this, that, and the third, go there, we party. And then the next day, I woke up and I was at home. And that's just a regular day, like, just going about my business, that, and third. I'm like, oh shit, man, I need to go get some gas, this, that, and third. I go out, first of all, I can't find my keys. And then I find my keys, and then I can't find my car. My car's not in the driveway. It's nowhere to be found. My car is gone, custom car too. I had no idea where my car was, so I'm trying to locate where the fuck the car is. So I'm calling everybody. I'm like, where's my car? Where's my car? Like, I couldn't find my car for 2 fucking days. What it was is I was so drunk. So I parked and fell asleep in the car. Somebody had pulled me out of the car and gave me a ride home, but there was somebody at the party. So like, oh, I'll give him a ride home. Gave me a ride home, but I didn't know where my car was. So I guess it was parked around the corner from the house where we were partying at. But I ended up getting home safely. But I left my car there, so I had my keys and no car. But it took me like 2 days to find my fucking car. Yeah.
Okay, here's my story.
That was an interracial night, and what I mean by that is you mix light and dark. It's one of those kind of nights.
Here's mine. What is that Bacardi? I don't know if it is Bacardi, bro, because I don't drink the shit. The one that's flammable.
Oh, 151.
That one. God.
Oh, I've thrown up out there so many times.
Okay, we were celebrating. I want to say it was like 2006. And I had just bought the Chrysler, the Chrysler with the Hemi.
Oh, yeah, the 300.
The real nice ones, okay?
Big dog.
And we were celebrating Quick, and AMG had just dropped that song. Remember, Can You Work With That?
That was my shit.
Yeah, so they dropped it. We were celebrating, and he pours like a cup like this much of that Bacardi shit. And he goes, just down it. I never had it. Now, I like to drink, but not that kind of drink.
Yeah.
So he goes, just down it. And I was like, fuck it then. I downed that motherfucker. Right away, I swear, I felt like a little shake. And I was like, the fuck was that? And he goes, take another one. So after that one,
jet fuel.
Yes. After that one, I was like, okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna go home, because I started feeling my body almost like doing one of these shits.
Oh, it's like, is it coming up?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, let me get out of here. So I'm driving home, and I remember not falling asleep, just waking up. Okay, I'm like this,
Just waking up.
Just what the fuck?
And makes you think, is that why they put those bumps in the road to wake motherfuckers like us up on our way home?
Exactly.
Shout out to whoever makes it.
I pull over and I put water on my fucking head. Okay, I'm like, fuck. Turn up the music, roll down the windows, and I'm driving with my face outside, out the window.
Yeah, trying to
okay.
Up, right.
For some reason, what the fuck? Pulled over again, but I made it home. Then,
praise God.
Yes. The next day, I realized that I threw up on my shoes and I pissed in my closet.
That's shit. You just that's terrible. Oh, sorry, that's terrifying. That's terrifying. What's good is terrifying that you pissed in your closet, but it's good that you made it home though.
All over my shoes.
I mean, did you put it on and find out? How'd you find out?
It was fucking wet and it was stinking.
No, 1 + 1 = 2, right?
Yeah.
You just reminded me. I have one other incident, man. This is a fucked up one too. So I've never been into like pills and shit like that. So I was at a party. One time, and I was drinking. We were kicking in the 7th, and someone I had never taken a Xanax bar before, so I thought it was like just like a pill. I would just take a whole pill, like aspirin or whatever. So I took the whole thing. I didn't know you're supposed to break them off individually. I didn't know what I was doing.
Wow.
So I took the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? This being a novice pill taker, I guess. So I took the whole shit, and then I just was on my way home, whatever the third. But I woke up the next morning. I had a Dodge Charger with the Hemi. I think it was like a 2000. I forgot what it was, like 2007 or something. But I had the little RT with the Hemi and shit, and I had some 22s on it. It was cocaine white. It was clean as shit. I've always kind of had like a little car thing with me. But anyway, so I woke up the next morning. I got McDonald's all over my lap, just like half-bitten cheeseburgers, fries, nuggets, and shit. Like it's all over me. And then I got Reese's. Well, I didn't know it was Reese's at first, so I had to double check. Like, am I having a shitty day for real? There was melted Reese's all on the side of me, bro. But I grabbed it and I'm like, oh shit. No one else was around me, so I was like, it was Reese's though. It was Reese's, y'all. This is a true story. I'm not capping. This is a true story. So then I get out of the car and I'm feeling like complete shit. I get out of the fucking car. I look up. You know what I'm saying? I'm a bigger guy, so it's like it must have been a message from God because I was in the LA Fitness parking lot. So I'm like, oh man, maybe I need to start working out.
Right.
I need to get my shit together. I get out. My fucking all 4 of my rims are on flats, bent to shit. I don't know what the fuck. I have no idea to this day what happened.
Wow.
Now, I know I didn't hurt nobody, but I fucked her. I think I hit a curb. I did something, but somehow because I didn't know what I was doing, I took that shit and it had to have knocked me out.
Fuck.
I got a lot of stories, bro. We could be here for like 2 days if I talk about my fucked up stories.
Did you ever take those pills again?
Never. I didn't know what the fuck it was at first. It's like someone had you like, oh, you got a headache here. Just dumb, young and dumb.
I don't mind drinking liquor or whatever, but I've never took like pills and like shrooms or like acid or never.
I've done shrooms. Shrooms are dope.
For reals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shrooms are dope.
Like for me, I've always been scared of that. I don't know why, but I've always been scared of that. Here's what I'm afraid of: be running down the street butt fucking naked trying to fight the hood.
Now that's shrooms, okay. They're 2 different things. I mean, not that I would know. I'm just saying.
Right. That's what I don't.
No,
want.
I feel you. It's just the because I mean, growing up, I've seen people really fucked up off drugs and shit too. I lived in a house with fucking dope heads and shit. So you see people's reactions to it, and you kind of like you kind of learn from their mistakes if you would. Like damn, he's pretty fucked up. I don't think I want to be like that, So I know what you mean. It just kind of makes you a little wary of certain drugs and shit.
Where originally are you from? Where did you grow up?
Long Beach, man. Long Beach, bro.
Long Beach. What part of Long Beach?
North side, east side, all over, man.
Okay,
all over, bro.
In the 80s, late 80s, I had a lot of homies out there in the east side, off of 21st and Elm.
Okay,
and we used to always go over there. My Mexican homie was probably the only Mexican crip out there, and we used to just go chill at his house. And we used to like see fucking everything over there. Like it was so crazy because out here in Wilmington, there was a lot of Bloods out here.
Right.
Bloods on the east and Bloods on the west. And then we would go over there and then it was all Crip. So I got to see all of that. And then my brother used to DJ, and I'm sure you probably heard of this club. I used to go to it in the 80s. At first, it used to be called Noah's Ark, Infinity, and then Grand Central Station. It's off of Broadway.
Right, yeah, right downtown.
Right, okay. Right downtown. That's where I first started DJing. That was the first time I ever went to a nightclub, and I was 11 years old. And
you started out like, this is my shit. This is what I'm gonna do. Huh?
That's pretty much how it started. My brother was DJing. He snuck me in, and then from there my life changed. But so I know Long Beach pretty well. My homeboy Tito, the Hood Santa. I don't know if you know him. He's from Long Beach as well.
Yeah.
But I know I got a lot of cats from Long Beach.
Long Beach is a real special place, man. I lived all over, man. I lived out of state, man. I lived in L.A. I lived in Watts. I lived in Compton. I lived in Long Beach. I lived in Seattle. I lived in fucking Vegas. I lived in Arizona. I lived in the Bay. I can tell you the craziest trip I ever had was my Bay Area trip. My first time to the Bay Area. You been to the Bay, right? First time I ever went to the Bay. I was supposed to go up there for 2 weeks. I went up there for 2 weeks. I stayed for 8 fucking months, man. And I ended up getting an apartment out there and everything. And then finally I was like, I got to get the fuck home. But it was just such a different experience. It was like 2 different worlds from SoCal to Northern Cal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but I think that was just like, real dope for me too, to just be able to experience different places too. Being out of state, being back home in the city, being here, being there. But Long Beach is always always had a special place to me, man. I remember being there really young and just always being just blown away by just like how the diversity was too. I remember when I was really young, there was a lot of bullshit that was going down. It wasn't the Long Beach it is today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then you go away for a few years and you come back and it's like, you just see shit differently and it's just cool to kind of see how it grows. But it's still a special place.
You know who's a good friend of mine, and I've been knowing him since the 80s, and I interviewed him here. Calvin Anderson, the owner of VIP Records.
No shit.
Yeah, I know it's not there no more. And we went to the court hearing where they were going to take the sign and put it somewhere in Long Beach, like as this historical monument or something.
Right.
And when I interviewed him here after all of that, he said they kind of just forgot about it and they put the sign somewhere, like in a storage somewhere.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they took it down.
Yeah, they took it down. It's
some bullshit.
It's a 7-Eleven now. So he opened up another store around the corner, and then that one closed because nobody's really buying vinyl anymore.
Yeah.
But I interviewed him here, and he gave us all the Nate Dogg stories, the Warren G stories, the Snoop stories, or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, man, one thing that they said at the court hearing when we went, actually in Long Beach, that there's 2 places that when people come to Long Beach, they want to see: the Queen Mary and VIP Records. Yeah, bro.
So iconic.
Yeah, there were people there giving their testimonies, saying that one guy said that he went to Africa. And I guess he went on a business trip, so he wore a suit. He said, nobody fucking recognized me. Nobody cared. He said, so why am I wearing a suit walking, downtown Africa or whatever part of Africa he went to?
Right.
So the next day I just threw on some jeans and my Long Beach VIP shirt, and everybody knew who I was. Hey. Instantly.
That's the power of branding too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But just how iconic something like that can be, outside of just Long Beach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though it's still, I think, one of the largest cities in LA County, I believe. But but even then though, it's like, this is a small area of the world, and for that to be able to resonate in so many different places, far beyond what we can.
I mean, and all the talent that has come out of Long Beach, and just Harbor area in general. For an example, the most popular rapper in the world right now is Snoop.
Yep.
It comes out of Long Beach. So much talent, bro. Compton. Out of San Pedro, Mr. Cartoon.
Yeah.
Out of my city would be a guy named. You guys know him from Turbo from Breaking.
Yeah.
The Boogaloo Shrimp. He came out of here. There's just so much talent.
So much. You got to think too. Even Nicolas Cage, Cameron Diaz, they both went to Long Beach.
Yeah. You're right.
So just so many different people in different lanes too. I mean, sports figures, musicians. I mean, everything. It's just it's pretty interesting just how our culture is such a cesspool for talent and creativity.
Yeah.
And originality. I think.
And look at all the athletes that came out of Long Beach Poly.
Oh. The list goes on.
Yeah.
It's a long list.
Yeah. So now let me ask you. So I know you moved around a lot, and you went into the Bay Area. What part of the Bay? I
stayed in Vallejo for a little while, but my friend who actually invited me up there, he was from the Fillmore district. Okay. So he took me up there, and we just kind of bounced around a lot. San Jose, Stockton. We moved all pretty much around. But really, what I was doing is I was doing music at the time. So I was up there, and I wasn't even rapping at the time. I was just doing beats. So I was up there, and I was just playing beats for artists, doing that. Third, I had a chance to work with a lot of Bay Area artists like San Quinn, Messy Marv, the Federation, the Bullies with Fullies, a lot of the Bay Area artists and shit too, and that kind of gave me like a little inspiration too, for where my creative direction was gonna go.
Okay.
So it was just a dope experience, man. But shit, we're young, we're just thugging it out. You know what I'm saying? Studio to studio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me ask you this: growing up in your parents' home, what type of music would you say you grew up with as a kid? What would you listen to around at home? What would the family play?
A lot of old shit. So it'd be like Michael Jackson for sure. A lot of hip hop.
Okay.
A lot of hip hop. I was introduced to hip hop at such a young age, man. Like I think my very first CD ever was a Tupac disc. My first CD, so that was what I first was able to buy myself. So what I was growing up on was always hip hop, man. It was hip hop. It was a lot of of course Temptations, Marvin Gaye, a lot of that fly shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then different shit too. Like I grew up on rock music too. I used to listen to AC/DC. You know what I'm saying? Black Sabbath. Like I just I was always in tune with music. There was always music around me.
Yeah.
But I didn't really, even though I enjoyed it when I was young, I didn't know it was actually what I wanted to do until I got older. So by the time I was like 12 or 13 years old. No, I was 12 years old when I first actually started making beats. And the way that started was I had a homie who had he had 2 fucking turntables, so he was like DJing and shit and doing little mixtapes and shit of this thing. Sounds crazy old school, but it was dope. And I'm like, how you do that? Like it was just interesting to me.
Right.
But he had a little drum machine with him too. So this is back, this was when we were doing the analog shit. So, I'm gonna start beating on that shit, just for the first time, my first boom clap, you know what I'm saying? And, just kind of picking it up and just getting kind of addicted to doing it and learning the process. So then I just became addicted to learning how to do this. And that was just my first passion. And ever since then, it's just, that was always my primary focus, was just strictly doing beats. And I played around with the rap shit here and there, but I wasn't really, it never was really like what I wanted to do. I wanted to really just kind of be like the producer. Like I used to actually like open the booklets and read, who produced the record, who mixed the record, who the writers were. Like that shit was so intriguing to me. It was like some nerd shit.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I believe that this is one thing that this generation doesn't have, where we could open up the cassettes and read it, or take out the album and read the sleeve, or open up the CD and read all the credits, the samples, or whatever.
Right.
I used to do the same shit, because I was a student of that. I used to I would say like, that's so and so sound. You open it up, yep, it's produced by Shock G or somebody, So let me tell you my first experience going to the base. You said you went up there, you ended up staying 8 months.
Yeah.
It was 1992. It was a convention called the Gavin Convention. Okay. It was kind of like something back in the day. They used to have a Jack the Rapper in Atlanta. This was that, okay? I go up there and I meet Shock G. And it was so funny because he actually recognized me. Rest in peace, Shock G. And after that convention, he says, you should come to the crib. I go to DJ Fuse's house, their DJ, the guy who DJs for Digital Underground.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I met Tupac right there. Tupac was about 19 years old, bro. And we all took a picture together, and and I kind of regret this because I didn't know who he was going to become.
Right.
But he ends up taking the picture for us. He didn't want to get in the picture. So we all take a picture together, take several of them. And he didn't want to get in the picture, but he was a real nice, quiet guy, like a trench coat on and his Gumby hairstyle from back in the day, But he was a real quiet guy. He told me he had just finished doing a movie called Juice. And I was like, oh, so you act? And he said, oh, yeah. I'm going to start doing a little bit more of that.
Right.
But that was the only conversation I ever had.
It's crazy. Like I've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of people who've had interactions with him, and every time I hear somebody tell a story about Pac, it's always different than the next. And actually I had an opportunity. I think it was on the 20th anniversary of his death. Me and my boy T-John is sitting over here. We did a session with D Harp, who worked on a lot of records for the Machiavelli album. Okay. And he brought all of Tupac's plaques and shit like that, and we actually got to have a studio session. We did an interview too. I don't think it ever got released. We did an interview for some channel or whatever it was at the time. I don't think it got released, but it was dope because we were talking about my inspirations of being from Pac and all that, like just everything that he did. Like I was a fan of the people who were making his beats.
Yeah.
All that, but Pac, I don't know. I think Pac just always was like the number one artist that resonated with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As coming up, it was just it was the emotion in his records, and then when you just look back on his legacy and everything, I mean, it doesn't get more iconic than what that man's done. Yeah. So when I hear stories about him, man, it's just always intriguing. I'm forever a Pac fan, man. Yeah. He's always number one on my list. Now
let me ask you this, because obviously you love rap. Okay. Are you a fan of East Coast rap at all?
Absolutely. I grew up on Big L. You know what I'm saying? I used to bump the Locks, man. I definitely fuck with Biggie. Biggie was brilliant. Okay. Brilliant. I mean, total lyricist, bro. So yeah, I fucked with a lot. I liked a lot of the old school East Coast shit. Because I had this thing where like, what if I listen to music, like I wanted to hear that sound like there. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, genres are so crossed and molded together. It's like some people think I'm from Texas, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or they think I'm from somewhere else. And just because of my swagger, the way I talk. But like when you would listen to like some New York shit, some classic East Coast shit, you could hear that like what I'm saying? Oh, sun coming through the walkways. Like the way he was doing his shit. And it was New York. Then when you listen to down south, they had their shit. Then you listen to the West Coast, we had our shit. So I think it's dope that everything kind of is able to blend together. Right. But it was still pretty unique how everyone had their own sound at one point in time too. So I definitely fuck with the East Coast.
Let me ask you this: give me your top 5 groups or rappers from the East Coast.
East Coast. Yeah. Big L, Gotta go Jadakiss. Nas. Hove. There was this one guy, he was underground too. I can't remember. Carmega? I'm probably saying that wrong. Somebody from New York will be like, hey, he's wildin', B. Yeah, I can't remember his name. Carmega or something like that. There was another guy. He had a couple mixtapes that was real dope. But there's so many, man. I mean, but that was like the lyricism shit. Okay. You know, and that was what I kind of picked up on too, because I mean, I've always been like a fan of the bars. You know what I'm saying? Right. Punchlines and shit, clever ways of thinking. I mean, anybody can just talk some shit, you know, on a record. But when you can put like, you know, some real creativity behind like the punchlines and the shit that you're saying, right? That's just real dope to me. That's why I was always a fan of like Jadakiss and the Locks, and you know, people like the Big L used to. Oh my God. Yeah. Shout out. Yeah. Rest in peace to Big L. For sure.
Rest in peace, man. And you know what? Now, on those top 5, you didn't mention Biggie.
Yeah, I did.
No, you said Big L.
I said Big L.
Then you said Jadakiss.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you didn't. So
I mentioned him before that. Okay, so with Biggie's in there, I mean, come on, Biggie's inevitable, man. We know Biggie's. Okay. We know Biggie's a GOAT.
Top 5 groups or artists from the West Coast.
West Coast. Pac for sure. NWA. I got, of course, Snoop. Let's see. So we got what? Pac, NWA, Snoop. I got to go with Cypress Hill. Groups or individuals?
It could be
anybody.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, man.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No specific order.
For me, Dr. Dre is the best rap producer ever. Absolutely.
And you know what? And I can't stress that enough. That's facts, man. I mean, Dre inspired me so much too, man. I mean, just everything that he's done, bro. I mean, in Battle Cat, I mean, there's so many. It's so hard to even just cram this shit all together. Shout out to Battle Cat, by the way, man. Battle Cat's even Quick. The way Quick's done his beats, I've actually tried to bite his style for years. I ain't gonna front. I've tried to bite it because I can't emulate it. Like, it was the little flexitones he used to put in his beats and shit. When I finally figured out what that instrument was, I was so happy. My boy,
just a little cheap.
But yeah, some little cheap ass shit. But you know, but you don't realize when you hear it in the fucking songs, you're like, oh, this little $5-6 used ass fucking piece of metal makes one of the dopest sounds in West Coast.
It was the best sound on the song Cutie Pie.
Goddamn right. And was pitching on a party too.
Yeah. Yes.
Shout out to Quick, man.
Yeah, shout out to Quick. Now, for me, it's Dr. Dre and then Quick's right here. But I will say this: when it comes to engineering, I probably wouldn't get anybody else other than Quick.
Quick, yeah, he did fucking, I think he mixed the whole,
All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me. He did a lot of shit. Nothing about Quick, too, a lot of people don't know. I mean, you do, obviously. But, like, even on, like, In the Club with 50 Cent, like, he did the claps on that.
Right.
He did a lot of shit. He does a lot of behind-the-scenes shit. See, like, people like that are always the ones that I, admire. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because it was never about being the fame or none of that shit. It was like, who's the guy really pressing the buttons behind this shit? You know what I'm saying? Who's the one who played that guitar? Like the Mike Elizondos and all this shit that are way behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? And the Sly Pipers that, people were like, who the fuck is he talking about? Yeah, go look him up. These are the people that are making some of the best songs that you hear out here, the classic shit. Right. But that's why I admire it, because it's like, they're getting their bag, but they're doing like such important aspects to these songs and these records. Right. You know what I'm saying? And Quick with the mixing, like I would love to have Quick mix my shit.
I know. I know.
I'm gonna fire my boy T-John, have Quick do my shit. No, man, my boy
Okay, here we have Biggie's Life After Death album, double CD. I ask everybody this question. Okay. 90%, I'll tell you what they say. Okay. Then you have Tupac, double CD, All Eyes on Me. If you had to pick one, which one would it be?
I'm going with Pac. I have to.
Okay, 90% say Pac.
Yeah. And the only reason, I'm gonna keep it. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna hate on me for saying this, but Biggie was a lyricist. If we were talking bar for bar, I think Biggie was a monster, probably even more so than Pac. However, Pac's music resonated with you more. You felt it. There was more emotion. There was more pain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. More activism and influence. Like, it just, Pac's, you can't say who's better than anybody, and I'm not saying that by any means. I'm just saying that, like, everybody's lane kind of hits differently, you know?
Right.
Biggie was undeniably probably one of the best lyricists that we'll ever hear, and his voice will never be emulated again. You'll never hear somebody with that kind of voice, nor Pac, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I would pick Pac, not just because we're from the West Coast, but because Pac, I remember going through certain times in my life, man, and when I was struggling with personal shit or whatever was going on, I could turn on some Pac and hear his pain. Now I feel a little better about my pain. You know what I'm saysaying?
Right.
It's like, so it's things like that, or maybe one day I'm just feeling a little grimy and shit, so I turn on some Big. You know what I'm saying? 10 Crack Commandments or something. So it's like it's just everything resonates differently. And then I used to like the fly shit too. So like I'd be big on like Do or Die and Twist. I was really big on the Rap a Lot shit too. Everything that they was doing down in Texas, man, they've been killing it too.
Do you want to give me your top 5 down south?
Easy.
Go for it.
Easy. All right, let me see. Top 5. I gotta put UGK up there, man. I gotta put UGK up there for groups because they were just really big for me. UGK. We'll go. Okay, let's go UGK. There's so many. I gotta put Outkast on there too. Outkast is iconic. I fuck with Ludacris too. Okay. I don't think Ludacris get a lot of his props, man. He had bars, man. Ludacris spits bar for bar. Devin the Dude, fucking Scarface. I can go on. Zero and Trey. A lot of the Houston cats were really dope, man. Who else? Fucking. There was this one group that came. I think they were from Alabama. They were called like the Dirty Boys. Dirty Boys, right? Yeah, it was like the Dirty Boys. They used to have. I think they had a couple little albums they put out and shit. Whatever. They were really dope too. But they were actually spitting and shit.
Dope. In 1991, I did a Texas tour. With my crew, Quick and those guys. Okay, and I meet Willie G. I meet Scarface and Bushwick Bill. Okay, at a place called the Palladium, and they go out there and they perform. First of all, I was already a fan of the Ghetto Boys from the album prior that Rick Rubin had produced.
Right.
And I thought that shit was fucking insane.
I mean, Face alone, not to cut you off, but Face, I should have mentioned Face too. Face is just everything. He's never missed for me either. I've had every solo album plus the Ghetto Boys shit too.
Right.
Yeah, man, they're
well, after that Ghetto Boys, what is it? We Can't Be Stopped album?
Yeah.
Scarface dropped his solo album. I forgot the name of it. But it's a solo album. And it is crazy because everybody thinks it's a Ghetto Boy album, but it's not. It's a solo album because everybody's on the cover.
Right.
I remember when I first heard that record, I thought to myself, a sane man could not have wrote that album.
Right.
But it was just a masterpiece for me, But that Ghetto Boys album, I remember before we went on, I went to go see them perform. Amazing shows, bro. Right. Amazing shows. There's only certain groups that I have left a lasting impression on me when they perform. That's why I stress to a lot of these young rappers today, go out there and give those fans their money's worth.
Right.
Go out there and win them over. One group was NWA. I got to see NWA perform. I got to see in the 80s, late 89, KRS-One. And he went up there by himself and rocked that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Cypress Hill on their first album, insane. And I would have to say, believe it or not, in the 90s, Quick and the whole camp, okay? And Ghetto Boys.
See, and I kind of wish I had a time machine because a lot of those groups were a little before my time, so I wasn't able to see them live, but I'm still able to enjoy the music. And that's the thing that I just would like to stress to anybody coming up too is you can still do your lane of music, but listen to who paid homage, listen to who paved the way,
right?
And just give it a listen. You're not gonna like everything, but there will be shit that you do like, like NWA, that was before my time, but I still listen to it, and there's songs that I still play to this day, But like to be able to see those iconic groups perform would have been mind blowing. I mean, I've seen Dre perform, I've seen M, a lot of these other, I've seen Quick, a lot of classic iconic people, but Pac. I never got to see the Ghetto Boys. I haven't even seen Face do a show, man. But things like that would just be it'd be mind blowing for me to see that.
Yeah. You know what? Last question before we go to break. You mentioned Big L. What was it about Big L that you really liked?
I think it was just the honesty. What was it? Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous. That project. It was just like he was just talking brutal truth, but he was so dope with the wordplay.
Yeah,
it was because obviously I'm already a fan of the beats, so creating the beats is like big to me. Now those old grimy ass sample beats, I tried to emulate that sound for years. It's been hit and miss for me because it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just a New York thing. I'm not really good at the sampling aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hearing those grimy ass old school drums with that flow pattern, like how Wu-Tang used to do their shit too, you know? It's just like the way he would flip words and say punchlines and shit. And what made it so intriguing is when an artist like that says something clever, you say, oh shit, that was dope. It's like, damn, why didn't I think of that? And it's just some little clever shit, and people still do that. Like one line I remember T.I. said on a few albums ago, or one of his older albums was, you can scramble like eggs and break fast. Like, it's just a little clever shit like that. And Big L was notorious for that. Him, Jadakiss, a lot of that. So that's probably one of the key things with L was just his creativity.
Have you ever been in New York?
Never.
Okay.
I would love to go.
I always encourage everyone that is into rap, got to go to New York at least once.
It's the birthplace.
I went out there. I got a homie out there. Give a shout out to my boy DJ Toro. He holds us a show called This Is 50 for 50 Cent.
Oh, okay. Dope.
Yeah. I went out there. He interviewed me. I stayed with him. And then he goes, I want to take you somewhere. And he takes me to Big L's mural. And he goes, that's where he used to live right there. And I said, oh, okay. Where did he pass away? He goes, right there. And they hit me, man. I was like, fuck, we're standing like feet away from when the dude got killed.
Where he got killed and where he lived.
Yeah. Right
Isn't that
there.
crazy?
And took a picture right there of his mural. And then he took me around the Bronx where, what was it, August 11, 1973, where hip-hop started right there with DJ Kool Herc. That, to me, being a DJ, that meant like everything to me.
Absolutely.
You know? That's where the birthplace, and from there, it trickled and went global. Rap went global. When I've had people here like Violet Brown, Lonzo from the World Class Wrecking Crew, Clientele from the World Class Wrecking Crew, Arabian Prince, former member of NWA, and they've all said that during that time, everybody was telling them, rap is a fad, it's gonna go away.
Yeah.
And we're here talking about it.
Right.
So with that, we're gonna take a 10-minute break, we're gonna come right back.
That's right, man.
All right. So everybody, once again, call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody.
That's right.
And let them know that Sav did it.
My kind of guy.
I didn't do it, Sav did it.
Hey.
We're out of here. Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio, episode 168. And we were looking at all those live comments, and that shit was fucking hilarious.
You guys are fucking
Please
funny.
keep it up. And I'm here with Sav Did It.
Sav did it, man.
Sav did it. And you know what? I'm going to say something, okay? I'm gonna tell you how I first heard of you. I always tell people, and I'm always real clear when I say this. I took a break from music like from 2002 to 2017, so for a long time I was gone.
Right.
Maybe like 2006 when I started DJing again, that's maybe for that year. That's when I did a little comeback, and then I just went back out, okay? Right. So I told a lot of people, if you came out during those years, I probably didn't hear of you. Don't get offended. A lot of people tell me, well, you never heard of me, why do you want to buy us? Dude, I'm not going to explain to everybody, that I took a break, but just send in a short fucking bio, bro. What year your first album came out on, who were your features, and how long you've been rapping or whatever. But somebody sent me one of your videos. Okay. And I'll be honest, I was really, really impressed. And so I sent it to my son, because my son is like a big L fan. Right. I think he's more of a lyricist, East Coast fan than he is West Coast. Right. He's pretty much one of his fucking heroes is Meek Mills.
Oh yeah, Meek does his shit too.
Yeah. So I said, what do you think? And he goes, you should book him. So the guy who sent me that was telling me, you should get this guy. This guy's hot. And it was that song, The Only Way.
The Only Way.
That one, bro.
That's what's up. That's dope.
I was really impressed, bro. I actually sent it out to a couple of people, and they were like, you going to get him? I'm like, yeah. I don't know him. Yeah. But, I'm going to reach out to him.
That's real dope. That's a real dope record too, man.
Now, is that because I don't know how old it is or how new it is. Can you fill us in a little bit?
That it's actually from last summer. Okay. So we recorded that last summer sometime. It was off my last project, which was my second project, which was called Made, MADE, which was a meaning for money always deploys envy. But it was I think track 5 out of 26. On that project, and still to this day people are like, why'd you do so many fucking songs? But there was all these ideas I had, and my poor engineer over here had to mix those in like a 4-day period so we could put it out. And but it was on that record, and it was on that project, and I produced the beat. And actually, it didn't even have that long intro in the beginning. That was this guy's idea. Oh, okay. So, but it was, like I said, I've always been a fan of the G-Funk and all. And what I try to do with my music is that because I make predominantly all my beats, I try to switch up sounds. So I can do some trap shit. I can do whatever's popping right now in LA. I can do some old school shit, some East Coast shit. I always just try to fluctuate my sound. Okay. Because at the end of the day, I'm a producer, so it's the whole making the beat process is number one for me. So like with that record, shout out to V-Dollars is on there too, and V-Dollars actually shot the video too. Okay. So. But yeah, he was a part of that record, and it actually came out really hard. It actually did better than I expected, because we just shot it. We shot it in Long Beach. We actually shot 2 videos that day. That was the first one. And shout out to Long Beach Lloyd, man. He brought his Impala out for that video and all that. And it came out and it did good. But what was funny was like within 24 hours, there was a viral meme that went up, and there was a part when I was rubbing my belly, and they changed my voice with Fat Bastard. I saw that, and it went up, bro. And it was on. I was getting so many follows and fucking ads from different like meme pages and shit. And they kept sharing the shit, and I think that helped boost the views too. No, so yeah, it went around.
Saying get in my
belly, because it was like part of the song. I was like, a fat boy fly, put my belly on your back while I hit it from behind, just some fly shit. But they took the clip where I was rubbing my belly and shit, and they put a fucking meme to it, and it just went. I want to say it went viral, but it was fucking blowing me up the next day. I'm like, man, I can't fucking stand the internet, man. It hasn't even been 24 hours. You guys are already shitting on me.
But you reposted it.
I had to, man, because I got a sense of humor. So it's like, like comments and all that shit don't offend me. None of that. You can't offend me. I wake up and talk shit to 20 people every day, and that's all we do is pick on each other, so comments and all that don't offend me. I've been called everything, what I'm saying? The comment sections are the funniest part about anything I put out because people talk shit, what I'm saying? I've been called everything. So but the fact that people really liked that record was real dope, man, and the fact that it ended up in your hands too, man, it's an honor for real.
Hey, you guys, we have his Instagram up, so go follow this guy, listen to his music. I think you guys will be impressed. Check out his music, okay?
Thank you. Tap in.
Yeah. Now let me ask you, so for the people that may not know, you were a producer first, and then a rapper. When would you say you officially said, okay, I'm a producer? Like, when did you get your first drum? Was it a program, laptop?
So that was around like age 13. I had I'd been asking my mom for it for a minute. I was like, I want this drum machine. It was the same shit that my homeboy had, you know, but he didn't really know what the fuck he was doing with it. But I kept pressing the buttons. I'm like, boom, boom, like it was just some cool shit.
Right.
But already being a fan of the music and already kind of being a nerd to the booklets of CDs and, you know, who made the beats. I'm like, well, me, I just want to try. I just like doing it. It was just fun, you know. It wasn't even a passion at the time. But when I finally got my DR5, which people were like, what the fuck is a DR5? It's an old ass drum machine. It wasn't even a good one. It wasn't an MPC or none of that.
Right.
Basic ass sounds, and it was hard as hell to do sequences and all that shit. But when I first got it, I just fell in love with it. I learned it, got pretty good at it, but I couldn't get nothing off of it. So, you know, I have homies that rap and shit, and I'm just pressing play like, hey, rap, you know, because I didn't have nothing else for it. And then, you know, then I got a laptop. It was like a fucking old ass HP laptop, and I had Fruity Loops and shit like that. So I started doing stuff like that. But before the like whole VST era, I was still doing like analog. So I had like a Korg Triton. I had a Roland Phantom, so I was still doing like the analog like way of making beats,
right?
You know, and stuff like that. So, you know, I was doing sequences and stuff like that, and then, you know, I was trying to do the Fruity Loop stuff too. And you pretty much, because Fruity Loops didn't have any real sounds in it, so I would take these analog keyboards that I have and try to record those sounds into there to be able to structure beats and do shit like that. So that was, I think, probably like around 14, 15. Like I knew I wanted to make beats.
Okay, now as far as during that time when you were doing beats, who would you say were the producers that you were looking up to, you admired?
100% for sure, Dre, Battle Cat, Quick for sure. The legendary Trackster, man, and he did a lot of shit for Do or Die and Twisted back in the day. I was a huge fan of that whole old school Chicago movement, you know, before the drill shit,
right?
Because it was just some player shit, some fly shit, you know what I'm saying? But it was the beats behind you know, all those records. So like to this day, man, the legendary Trackster is one of my favorite producers ever. Like it's just some of the sounds and shit that he's used in beats over the years is just mind boggles me. I don't know how the fuck he did it, and hopefully one day I can ask him.
Yeah,
but yeah, so, you know, it was those guys, and then of course I was big on a lot of Biggie's producers. I can't think of his name right off the top of the head, but just a lot of there was an array. Like I was a fan of just multiple. You know what I'm saying? Mike Dean was a big influence to me too, and of course people up in the Bay. So yeah, I mean it was all over, but like the predominant ones was the ones that I was always around, which, you know, were not around physically, but around, you know, regionally. So like Dre, you know, Battle Cat and Quick, and I was so into the G-Funk sound. You know, it was so dope to me that, you know, those synth basses and the way those claps were. And so for years I continued to make beats like that. Even when G-Funk, quote unquote, died, I still kept making beats like that. And people used to tell me, Sav, stop making those. That sounds out of here. But I can't help it. Like, you know what I mean? That's my lane. I love making those kind of beats. But I always branch out. So, you know, during that point in time, and that's who I idolized to be like.
I'm going to ask you an interesting question that I've never asked anybody. Let me set it up first, okay?
Do you think?
There was a lady here. She grew up in Gardena, or no, I'm sorry, Hawthorne. Man, no, I want to make sure I don't want to get it twisted. But she was living right by the Roadium swamp in the city of Gardena, okay? Sure. By the way, that's why we call it Roadium Radio, okay? But I want to say it was Lawndale, but her name's Violet Brown, and I want to apologize, Violet, if you're hearing this. But now she lives in Long Beach. Okay. I interviewed her here. She knew everybody from Dre to Hammer to Master P to Eminem. They all shouted her out on their records, okay? Mm-hmm. Like this lady, 80s and 90s, was somebody that you really wanted on your team. Right. She can make you go gold or platinum overnight. You know, that's the power
Powerful,
she had.
Yeah.
And I've known her since I was a teenager. So me and her have always been very good friends, and never asked her, like, can you help me? She's always just helped.
Right.
Quick example. One day I'm producing a record for a guy named Mellow Man Ace. She's listening to the track. This is 1997. And she says, this song needs a singer. And I was like, I know, but I don't have anybody. She goes, okay, well, let me bring one of my friends. The next day she brought Tina Marie.
No shit.
Yes. I still have the 2-inch reel in that next room. Tina Marie's voice, bro. Yeah, she brought her in, and I was like, fuck, like I couldn't, but that's just how she was, you know, the way she is. So we were talking, and she said she did something for the Smithsonian, where they asked her questions like about her job, and every time she mentioned like vinyl, she had to hold up a record. At first, she didn't know what it was for, like an actual album. They would have to turn it around. He goes, and then I would sell cassettes. Can you hold up a cassette? You know, and then boombox, and they had it all there. Right. You know, boombox or whatever. And at the very end, she asked, like, why did I have to do all of that? She said that they were going to put that into a time capsule for 100 years from now. and they were going to show it to the next generation. Well, that generation.
That's some creative shit.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, because the next 100 years from now, they're not going to know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, think about this: a VCR, a television, a radio, a CD player, a cassette player. We have all of that here now.
Yeah, it's all on one device now.
It's all on one.
Right.
Okay. So now, say 100 years from now, you travel to the future,
Right.
and a kid tells you, "Man, what was probably the best hip hop or rap album ever? What would be the first record that ever come to your mind if you only had to choose one, and you had to show him just one album?"
It would be Me Against the World, Pop.
Okay.
And for me, it would be.
Right.
For me, it would be because I think that record just started. It was no skips. Now it's not the only one. There's a lot of classic records with no skips, but the first one that comes to mind is Me Against the World.
You know which one was mine?
What?
When I was asked that question, the first Chronic album.
Oh shit! You know what? The second one too, though.
Yes, of course.
Ooh, that's a hard one to pick, man. That's a hard one to pick.
Right.
Now they said like 5 albums. So I'll give him a cool 5 to last another 100 years.
Okay, so let's just say we'll take it a step further. He asked, "What was the greatest classic West Coast album?" You said the Tupac one. Okay.
Thanks.
Say he asks you, "What about the East Coast? The greatest East Coast album ever?"
East Coast album ever?
Like it was, once again, if you just had to give him one, just to give him that sound,
just the raw
yes.
sound. Me personally, I would go Big L, Lifestyles of the Poor and the Dangerous.
Okay.
Me personally, that's a raw New York sound. You know what I'm saying? And it's no shade towards anybody else in New York, but I mean, me personally, like they don't get no more New York than that. That sounds like, you know what I'm saying, Brooklyn. You know, all that shit. It sounds like the East Coast.
You know what came to my mind? By All Means Necessary, KRS-One.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic too.
Still number one. All those songs on there, bro. So to me, you want to know how to make boom bap sounds? Just get an SP1200 and don't clean your records.
There you go, easy peasy. Hey, Eric B and Rakim had some shit too, though.
Of course.
I think a lot of people to this day don't, and I know he does get his respect, but I think some people still don't give Rakim his flowers, man. That's probably hands down one of the best lyricists that's ever blessed the mic, man.
Nas or Rakim?
I'm going Rakim.
I'm going Rakim.
I'm going Rakim.
Dude, when I first heard Eric B as president, okay, and then I found out years later that he was just a teenager when he wrote that song.
Right.
In my mind, I thought he was a grown man already.
Right.
But nah, dude, that dude was like
just ahead of his time.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Really quick. Pac was 25 and Biggie was 24. Okay. Those guys were not rapping like 24 or 25-year-olds.
No, not at all.
Not at all, dude. And to think about how that their lives ended so fast and how young.
Yeah.
I mean, my son, whom you met, is 30 years old already, bro.
Right.
And he's already outlived them. And those guys, let's be honest, bro, they were youngsters.
Young.
Parents would say they're babies.
They're still babies. I mean, even when I try to, and it's funny because when you're young and you're looking up to them, you know, anybody older than you kind of idolize. They have like this mystique to being, you know, older and wiser. But now, you know, when I surpass like Pac and Big's age, I'm like, shit. I'm like, my mind state at their age, like I don't even know how they did what they did at that age. You know, it's like you're still so young in your early 20s. You know, you don't have shit figured out yet.
Right.
No, and to be that ahead of the game, that iconic, that legendary, even to where 20 years later we're still fucking talking about these guys.
Look at the three biggest rappers of all time. I hope I get the years right, but I believe I got it right. I mentioned it here the other day. Here you have Eazy-E, passed away 95, 96, Pac, 97, Biggie. 1 year after another. Coincidence?
No, I don't believe in coincidences.
No, I don't believe in coincidence either, bro. I believe that when you become such a big voice,
someone wants to shut you up.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's just that's just a whole nother level of success too. You know, I mean, you know, for them to be young men, you know, at that age and still be able to navigate the world with all that kind of chaos, money and fame and just, you know, crookedness and shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, just being in the game, you know, obviously I'm not on that kind of level, as of yet, but just being in the industry, being around these circles and these events and these parties and all that shit too. I've seen how crooked and disgusting and weird this fucking business really is. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of weird shit.
A lot of weird shit.
But it's just for them to be, young and be able to navigate it and be the center of attention.
Yes.
I don't know how they did it, and that's why I said like fame was never an aspiration for me, man. It was just, to just make good records, man. And, obviously make money doing it too, but really to be passionate about the craft behind it. But when you do something really so well, you can't be surprised if you do gain notoriety for it, No,
you're
so
absolutely right.
if it comes, you signed up for it. You know what I'm saying? If that ever elevates for me or anybody around me, then it is what it is. We signed up for that shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to take it like a man.
No, you're absolutely right. I actually went to Biggie's home where he grew up at.
Really?
Yeah, took a picture there, took a picture of his mural, filmed a little video there at his mural. And, here's was the crazy thing, because I'm walking in Bed-Stuy, okay? And the kids there that were walking like from school and stuff, they looked like the kids from out here. This is my point.
Right.
Back in the 80s and 90s, no two rappers sounded the same.
Right.
Okay.
If you did, you were biting their style.
Right. Okay. Today, my opinion,
everybody sounds the same.
Let's go back to the 90s. We had fucking Check the Rhyme with Tribe Called Quest. We had Wu-Tang. We had KRS-One, Eric B. We had everybody that sounded De La Soul.
Right.
Then you come out here. Then you had your Ice-T's, your Dr. Dre's, your NWA's, your King T's. Okay. We all had our sound. We can tell that's a West Coast beat.
Right.
We can tell that's an East Coast beat.
Right.
Okay. That's a down South beat. Today I can't tell.
Yeah.
I know if we listen hard, we can, but no. Do you like the state of music today?
Look, I say this, man. I think anybody who's not open-minded is already closing themselves out. So I'm always open to listening to what
right.
New. Now I just because my personal taste in music is 90s 2000 eras. That's my personal taste. There is a lot of new shit I do like though. Right. A lot of the new SoCal artists and all that type of shit. But it has become just this redundant recycle copy and paste a genre that's going on now,
right.
and it's everywhere now, to where people from Chicago are sounding like people in Texas. It's like all over. Everybody kind of is following this same copy and paste pattern. And I actually saw a blog recently that said one thing. It kind of pissed me off because I hate it when anybody down talks California. Right. But they did make some sense. They said, does every fucking rapper in California have the same producer today? And it resonated with me. It made me mad because of course everybody's in there talking shit. But I'm like, damn, that is a really good point. A lot of us out here, are emulating the same exact sound, or yes. following. Okay, well this is hot. Let me do that. And I think that's been a problem in the game too. Is like everybody, instead of just being true to themselves, they're saying, okay, well he's winning. Let me try him. But the thing
that's my point.
Yeah, let me try. Let me do what he's doing. Instead of just doing me. Like I still run recording studios and engineer and all that stuff too. So I work with a lot of artists, and like people come in like, oh man, I'm trying to. I want him to sound like Draco the Ruler. Yeah. Well, if people want to listen to Draco the Ruler, they're gonna go listen to Draco the Ruler. Right. I fuck with Draco's music, but I'm not. If you're gonna try to emulate what he's doing, I'd rather go listen to his shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're already emulating. Just do you, and you can take inspirations and create creative direction from anything before you. I mean, we're all a fan of music first before we even decide to make it. If you say you're not a fan of music, you're lying out your ass. You know what I'm saying? So like, who are you trying to kid here? But so it's like, but you can take bits and pieces of something, be motivated by it, and turn it into something that's yours. And that's always been my mentality. But I guess it's just this copy and paste generation, man.
Here's a tough question, and I don't want to get you in trouble. Who's a rapper that has made it big, and you scratched your head and thought, I don't get it? Is there anybody out there like that?
There's a lot. I'm not going to say no names, though.
Okay.
Just because maybe I need to work with them.
Okay, so I'm not a rapper, I'm going to say one. And I know when I say this, people trip out on who I say. But I just didn't get it. And now keep in mind, I love rap, bro. Right. East Coast and West Coast, but when it came to this one individual, everybody told me he's talented, he's dope, and I listened to him, and I'm like, hey, you know what? It's just not for me, and I just never understood it. Mm-hmm. You're probably going to be upset with me. I don't know if you're a big fan of his, Lil Wayne.
Wayne?
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan. I think Wayne's dope though. I think what Wayne's thing with me, it was the bars.
Okay.
I think his punchlines were always fucking clever.
I tried to listen to him, and it was just not for me. Like I tried, because everybody was saying, you got to listen to this guy. You got, and I don't knock his hustle, and I'm not saying, by no means am I saying he is sorry. He was just not my cup of tea.
Right, and that's the thing too, is like, I think everybody has this preconceived notion that we're supposed to like the same shit.
Yes.
There's people who hate my music. I mean, hate it. You know what I'm saying? And that's perfectly fucking fine. You know what I'm saying? But there's stuff that I listen to, and it's just not my. I can't listen to it. You know, and it's no discredit to that person. You know what I'm saying? They have their lane, they have their fans,
right,
and all that. You know, somebody who likes, you know, Tina Marie doesn't necessarily like Whitney Houston. You know, it doesn't fucking matter. You know, so it's like, but that's the beauty about music, is everybody's entitled to have their own taste in music. There's endless genres of music. Some people like country, some people like rap, some people like old school rap, some people like this new shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just everybody has their own taste. So I don't think that's no shade to anybody at the end of the day, man. If you like what you like, you don't what you don't. You know?
Yeah, you know. Like my brother, one day I was playing the demo, because I had the demo cassette of NWA, and I was playing Fuck the Police, Dope Man, and all that shit. And my older brother, was listening to it, and he goes, tell me, turn that shit off. That fucking shit is garbage. And I was like, it's not fucking, I go, you think it's sorry? But here's what to me is where it makes sense. I don't think they're sorry. He goes, I do think that they're talented. I just don't like it.
Right.
And that's how I feel about it.
You know what? And that brings me to another point too, man. You got to think like I remember when I was coming up listening to stuff, like say I'm listening to Pac, right? The older generation before that, like the generation before, like the Pacs and the Rakims and the Big L's and all that, they thought that shit was trash. They're like, this ain't music, this ain't real music. Then they pull on the Temptations. They got Marvin Gaye. Now this is music. You know what I'm saying? And they have their point. But you know, and then that was during like the early eras of hip hop, when there was sampling and stuff going on.
Right.
You know, so people were sampling music and shit like that, and they thought it was stealing music and all that. So you know, the older generation is always going to have what their opinion is of real music, versus the younger. So even with me seeing a lot of these youngsters coming out, the young ones, 17, 18, their style of music. I mean, who am I to shit on that? Because when I was coming up, the generation before us was saying our shit was trash.
Right.
So, and I think it's just a continuous cycle of, you know.
Right. You know, there was an older man because when he first heard my song, he said, oh, you're taking oldies. That's what he told me. And I said, I'm not a musician. I said, this is all I know how to do. And I tried to explain to him what boom bap was. We just took a boom, a kick, and a snare from Billy Squier, Big Beat, and that's how Roxanne, boom, ba-cat, boom, boom, ba-cat, boom, boom, ba-cat. I said, that was boom bap. We just sampled the hi-hat. We took from you guys because we couldn't play it.
Right.
We put it on the drum machine, and that's a part of hip hop.
Right.
You know, that's what hip hop is. You know, it's sampling. You know, and then from there, obviously, it flourished and it took a life of its own. And I think it's a lot. I don't want to say it's a lot better now, but I don't like today's music, but I like today's production, that they're coming up with original tracks.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I like.
Yeah. Like a majority of the beats now are all pretty much or original records and stuff now. So there's a lot. You don't see a lot of sampling these days.
Right.
But I think the only other side of the coin is the fact that a lot of the song content is pretty much the same too.
Okay.
You know, people are pretty much talking about the same kind of subjects. I mean, not everybody, but you know,
right.
There's still a lack of originality in some aspect. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I wanted to ask you. Sav did it. How did you come up with that name?
It was a beat tag, so everybody calls me Sav, and and we had me and my peoples, we used to run multiple recording studios, so we had one in the Valley, one in Compton, all that, and I used to go to several different studios. So I had this voice actor. She was from London, and she was coming out to do voiceovers for some commercial, I guess she was trying to get booked for or whatever, and she had a really sexy voice. So I had no tag for my beat, so I just told her to say Sav did it, and she did it, and I just kept it, and that it just stuck.
You know, and that's something that's new to me, a tag for your beats. Because back then, I guess when Dre did a beat, we knew it was Dre.
Yeah.
Like that was his tag, his sound.
Yeah.
When did the whole tag thing started coming in?
I mean, I think it became popular because obviously booklets don't exist no more. Right. So it's like, you know, people wanted their credit, and in me, man, you know, I wanted everybody to know that I did that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know,
hey man,
who did the beats? You hear in like any song that I put out, if you hear that tag in it, I've made the beat.
You know, I interviewed one of my boys here, and I love his production, but I didn't know that this certain sound was his tag. I didn't know because it was new to me.
Right.
Keep in mind, I started listening back to music 2017.
Right.
So he would play me, and I go, this beat is fucking dope. I go, dude, but you keep putting that fucking sound at the very beginning. The fuck is that? Like, you already used that sample. But he kept saying that was my tag, and I didn't know what that was.
Right.
So he had to explain it to me, but it was driving me insane because every song had the same shit, and I didn't get it, you know, but. You know, I understand it now.
Yeah, and I still put it in every single song of mine, but you know, eventually I'm going to get to a point where I won't have to. And the only reason I still do it is because I still am a fan of producing other artists, you know, and working with other artists. I rap and put out my own content as well, but you know, I still like to work with other artists. I still like to do production. Okay. So it's a calling card, it's a business card, you know. So even me rapping on my beats, if you like that, you might not. You can hate all my rap and whatever you want, but if you like the beat, that's all I need. Right. Because really, I'm just business carding out my beats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
no, that's good, man. Now here's another thing that I didn't understand, and once again, I come back into this game, and then people are like, "Oh, I lease beats." Mm-hmm. Like I didn't know what that was, bro. I was like, what do you mean? Like you leasing a car, like a house? Right. Like I didn't know. I really didn't know what that was. So to me, I thought that was insane. Mm-hmm. And I learned a lot from people that come here and sit across from me. Like they'll say, the majority of the young generation, and believe me, I like their hustle, but I ask them, so where did you get your first early beats from? Oh, I just downloaded them from YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, you mean I had to save up for $2,000 to buy my first drum machine? You know, and you just take a beat?
Right off YouTube.
Yeah, bro, so.
Yeah, and I mean, even now, you know, even now, a lot of artists I work with, a majority of them pull their beats off YouTube. So it's I need a Drake type beat, I need a Nipsey Hussle type beat, I need a Draco the Ruler type beat, I need a Shoreline Mafia type beat, a blah 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 type beat, I need a what the fuck am I doing type beat, you know? So it's like it's just constantly a type beat, and I never fell into that trend of doing the YouTube type beat shit. I do see producers winning. It's no shade to them at all. Right. But what I do realize is the internet and social media completely changed the industry forever. That goes for producers because even when I was coming up, like it was dope for an artist to have a bond with their producer. Yes. And still to this day, it's a bond, and a lot of people that I work with, I try to put that on them too. Like, you know, you can get your beats however you want to get them, but you're going up on YouTube, you're downloading a beat that's got 500,000 views on it. How many other rappers already have this beat? How original really is it? Right. And these people are tricksters now. Not all YouTube producers do this, but a majority of them. Oh, lease the beat. It's just a constant flow of income. Yes. So, but you know, and it's running over and over and over. And then if you do happen to blow up with that shit, they have mechanical rights to that, and then you get sued. Then you don't get no money. You know, like so pretty much you just get clout, no money, and the song isn't even yours to begin with. Right. We've seen this with Designers Panda, you know, a lot of shit like that. I think Mike Dean and them were trying so hard to get that guy who made that beat to sign over the rights, and he fucking refused. He said, "No, I want all my money." You know, YouTube beats. You know, right. Mozzie had mentioned one time at a session that we had that he had that same kind of issue too with the YouTube shit. So I tell people, you know, like that's fine if you want to do that shit, but you know, unless you have like everything in black and white or any kind of split sheets done or paperwork done, then you know you're really just wasting time. You're just freestyling over or doing songs over unlicensed material. But the best thing you can do is to find a producer. And I tell people, just because I make beats doesn't mean you have to fuck with me or buy any of mine. Right. Find you a producer. Find you a producer who makes good beats, and you guys have a chemistry. Because anybody who I've ever personally worked with, if I make beats for him, or if I engineer for him, or whatever I do, it's a connection. It's a vibe. It's a chemistry. We enjoy our creative process. You know, and I try to stress that to artists too, man. Like, you know, find that moment. You know, look at Snoop and Dre. Look at YG and Mustard. Look at, you know, all these different people who have been prime examples of an artist and a producer's chemistry. You know, and that's just one of the biggest essences in this game I think is missing, man.
I feel like I'm hearing myself because that's pretty much. I got tired of saying what you just said.
I'd say it every week.
I think chemistry is everything, bro.
Right.
You know, like I tell people, back in the day, I used to make tailor-made beats for people. Right. And many times when I would be producing somebody's record, I wouldn't fuck with nobody else. Right. It's just because I was concentrating on him.
That project. Yeah.
That's it, bro.
Right.
And so when that's done, now I can fuck with you, chill with you, drink a couple of beers. What do you like to listen to? You know. So I feel him out. Yeah. We get a vibe from him. You know, and that's how we start. Right. You know, so usually on an album, if I were to do a 12-song album, I would do about 18 songs for him, and then we'll pick the best 12.
Facts.
So
that's a good logic too.
Yeah.
That's a good logic. See, even like with us, everything that we've pretty much done over the years, everything boils down to the vibe. The vibe is everything. I think one bad seed, one dose of bad energy can ruin a night, ruin a song, ruin anything. You know, so it's very vital to keep good energy in your orbit. You know. And so it boils down to the vibe. And if there is a chemistry and in a cool vibe and everybody's relaxing and being creative and all that, then that's when the best music can come out.
Yes.
But that is the most detrimental aspect to creating a good record is the vibe, is the energy. And if there's even a connection, I've been in the studio with people who we just have no vibe. They have the personality of a fucking broomstick. And I'm over here drinking beer like, hey, you want to go do it? And they're just, we press record. That's just so. I mean, bro, we talk shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we're having fun, man. We're having fun with this shit, and we're trying to create. And I think another thing is this whole notion that any outside opinion is being a hater, or any compliment is dick riding. I think that's fucking ridiculous now.
Well, we live in a generation, bro, that truth is the new hate speech.
Fact.
You can't just say, I'm not feeling it. Well, you're just fucking hating.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm in the sock in your motherfucking face. I just don't like that shit,
right.
So, I mean, like, I don't like that shirt. You're just a hater.
Yeah.
No,
but tell me why you don't like it. So the green is too, like just tell me. And the funny thing is, I mean, people talk shit to me all the time. But the other day, I went back and forth with some guys on Say Cheese to share one of my videos, and the things they were saying just was not constructive criticism. It was just bullshit.
Of course.
So I'm just talking shit back. You know what I'm saying? And then of course it's getting into heated conversation. Like, okay, yeah, I got shit to do. But where people get this notion like, okay, you can give somebody their flowers and give them a compliment,
right?
And it's not dick riding. You can also tell somebody what the issue is and what they should try to change. Now, you might be right, you might be wrong, they might be right, you might be wrong. You don't know until you know. But two heads are better than one, man. There's power in numbers, and the more input you have, the better. So, even to this day, I tell people, man, if you're not liking something I'm doing, tell me. Just tell me straight up, that you're not feeling it, but don't even just tell me that you're not feeling it. Tell me what part of it you're not feeling, But honesty is the best policy, man. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if you can't keep it real with me on a song I'm doing or something else, you'll let me walk around with fucking mustard on my shirt and a booger in my mustache. What kind of fucking friend are you?
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly. What can people expect from you 2021?
A lot, man. So last year, I dropped that ridiculous amount track listed project. I produced all the records on it. Well, my boy T-John and V co-produced a couple records on there with me too. We put that out last year. I just shot pretty much every video that I've been releasing over the past couple months is from that project. So I think we got like maybe 2 or 3 more that we shot that haven't been released yet. They're just kind of sitting in the vault. We're gonna release them probably like in the next month. Okay. But right now I'm working on a dual project. It's pretty much I'm taking one whole album and cutting it in half into 2 volumes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna release them both around the same time. So it's called West Coast Couple Volume 1 and Volume 2, and it's strictly West Coast music. It's like the 90s nostalgia, the early 2000s. I really wanted to incorporate that sound, and what motivated me to do that was last year me and my boy Doggy Style did a song called On Sight, and it did really good. Pretty good for like there's just throughout the whole summer, and then it stretched on over throughout the year. So fast forwarding to now. A lot of people were telling me, like, man, you should do some more of that G-Funk sound, do some more of that West Coast sound. So it motivated me to sit down and start creating more West Coast beats, step away from just, what's hot right now, whatever people are listening to over here and wanting over here. Let me focus on that nostalgia that I'm actually really good at. So I took 3 months. I took 3 months straight just creating the beats for this project. No song concepts or anything, just stacking up beats and then figuring out which ones I actually wanted to use and then establishing the project now. And I'm about 65-70% done with this. So it's pretty much just, nothing but West Coast music, man. Oh. Like that 90s nostalgia, like some Death Row type shit, some old Snoop, some Dre, like that whole kind of vibe. And I wanted to put that out this summer, man, and just shoot a bunch of videos for it to see how people like it.
Dope, man, dope. Other than that, are you open to for bookings?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and where can they reach you at, other than your Instagram or just there?
Instagram, savdidit.com. You can see a lot of my other stuff on there too. Price sheets for beats and mixing and mastering services, all that. So savdidit.com, savdidit on Instagram, savdidit on Twitter, savdidit on Facebook.
Okay.
SAVDIDIT.
Okay, and you got a YouTube page?
Yeah, it's youtube.com/VST Music Group. So it's actually our company company group. I have a Sav Did It page, but I haven't even put much content up there yet because I'm not sure exactly how I want to utilize that page yet. Okay. So I would just tell anybody go to youtube.com/VST Music Group and subscribe to our channel. You'll see a lot of our content up there.
If anybody wanted to buy like hard copies, do you have those available?
Yeah, I'm actually working on that right now. So I want to take probably at least 100 copies of every project that we've done, from the compilations to the group projects to my solo projects, and put them up on my website and offer that as an option too, just for people that want to actually hold a physical copy.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to do that by the end of summer, and I have a ton of new merch coming too. Me and my team have some merch and a bunch of good shit too.
Okay. Any features, artists that people may know? on your upcoming projects?
Yeah, well, we actually just last Sunday, me and my boy Doggy Style again, we shot a video for my new single called "My and Pa." It's with him and my boy TBZ 1300. So they're both from San Bernardino, man, and they came through. We did this record. I already kind of had the beat pretty much laid. I did the talk box on it. You know, like I said, it's nostalgia West Coast shit. So me and TB, we pretty much started kicking our parts to it. Did like the hook and his verse, and then Dog heard it, and it was a rap. We got on it. We got it done. We shot the video on Sunday. Shout out to Voice Too Hard who shot the video. So that's gonna be dropping real soon, and yeah, that'll be the first single, man. And you know, the other features on there, I'm gonna keep them a little low, nothing too big, but you know, I got some other stuff on there, man. It's gonna be real dope. I wanted to be a surprise. I wanted to drop and people to get that real Cali Cali feel again.
Okay, last question, and then we'll give our shout outs. If you had to choose 3 rappers to do a song with each, they could be alive or deceased. Who would those 3 rappers be?
Big L, Pac, and Drake.
Say that again.
Big L, Pac, Drake. Drake.
Oh, Drake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's like the GOAT right now, man. For like the new school, like he's the leader of that shit. Anything he does doesn't miss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope, man. Dope. Well, you may have your opportunity one day.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Shout out to Drizzy. Come on, man. Let's go.
All good, brother.
Yeah.
You want to give a shout out, man, at this time?
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who follows me, man. Shout out to T-John Annex, V Dollars, my whole VST music group team. Shout out to Voice Too Hard, Doggy Style, the whole We Different movement. Everybody else who fucks with me, man. You know, YG Dreams, the whole Victorville movement. Everybody who rocks with me, man. I rock with y'all, and also shout out to the people who keep talking shit, because I'm gonna talk shit back. You know, we're gonna keep this thing rocking. You know what I'm saying? That's it, man.
All good. Well, let me give a shout out to you. Thank you for giving me the honor and the pleasure.
Thank you, Tony. It's a
to interview
pleasure.
you, brother. Let me give a shout out to Alex Cervantes Enterprise. If you got a bucket or hoopty that needs fixing, he'll fix it for you. He's got his own shop. My son B. Scallons for helping me promote this. And let me give a shout out to, Anthony the Hip Hop Jedi. So other than that, everybody, I'll be back on Friday for Freaky Tales. Make sure you guys tune in. And then Sunday, I got a legend coming in, a legend DJ coming in. I'll give you guys a hint, Seattle, and that's all I'm gonna say. So see you guys Sunday. Jose Zapatos, Sav did it. Much love, much respect to you guys, brother. We out.